Welcome into the casual gaming conversation. I'm Connor. That's Nick. We're coming at you on this rainy Sunday afternoon, posting on Monday mornings at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for another gaming discussion, talking about the mid year check in for video games. We're going to go over our Fantasy Critic League and discuss all the games that have released previously, what we got coming out for the rest of the year, how everybody's doing in that league, the scores. We'll explain everything for you as it goes along. But mainly, if you aren't interested in the Fantasy Critic League, which you should be, it's just going to be a good way to kind of format discussing this year's games
Yeah.
in general. So that'll be a lot of fun. We got hot takes for you as always, and then a Kingdom Hearts World draft for you at the end.
Shockingly, I was the one that came to Connor with this idea. Connor, I was like, he's like, what are we drafting? And I was like, oh, I didn't let you know. And he's like, what? And I was like, Kingdom Hearts World. And he goes, okay. And I was like, let's go.
I'm all in on that. Alrighty. So just some housekeeping quick for you. Make sure that you check in on the Twitch streams. We stream every day, Monday through Thursday. Every day, Monday through Thursday. That doesn't make any sense.
We stream 60% of the time, 100% of the time.
Monday through Thursday, 7 to 10 Eastern Standard Time. I'm finishing up God of War for the next couple of weeks on Mondays. Nick is playing Cuphead starting on Tuesday this week, right? That's the official
I think
decision.
so. Yep.
And then Wednesdays, I'm playing Hollow Knight, which, oh my goodness, Hollow Knight, man. It's a lot of fun.
I do like that we're stacking it up with some indies right now. Like, I feel like all the time we mainly discuss big budget, huge games. And obviously, these are like some major indies. These aren't like really down in the depths of what the indie market has to offer and the scene has to offer. But they're great games. We're really excited to be playing them. It's a lot of fun.
So we're doing that right now. Make sure you join the Discord as always. Q&A goes up tomorrow if you're watching this on Monday, but if you're watching it anytime after Monday, it's up on the YouTube and Spotify and Apple. So check out the Q&A. Those are questions submitted by you guys. We went over about 30 of them. A lot of fun, a lot of laughs, as always. Q&A.
Man.
Loved
we
it.
shot that at like 9:40 in the morning too. The vibes were not sleepy, but it definitely got the fun going on the day.
Right. And then we have a community survey coming up. We want to hear from you guys, figure out what we can improve on, what you guys like, what you don't like, what you want to see from us. So that'll be going out in the next couple of days as well. So keep an eye out for that. There'll be a link in the bio and the Discord and all of that. So yeah, check it out when that drops on Tuesday, I believe. Tuesday. Yeah. So that's a little bit of housekeeping for you. Before we get into the hot takes, Nick wants to discuss a game that he's been playing.
So,
he hasn't told me about.
I've been waiting to discuss this with you. I've had an itch ever since a game that came out earlier this year, and I've been looking for something somewhat similar. So that game that was Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. I love that game. It's 8.5. It's phenomenal. So I decided to pick up Ori and the Blind Forest.
Oh, nice.
For the first time. Running that on Game Pass, which is one of those fun things where, like, sometimes we use company money to buy games. Game Pass, I'm just able to play whatever I want and not tell Connor it's great. And so for this, I picked it up on Wednesday, played like 4 hours. It's pretty short. Like, I'm through the first major or a couple of the first major areas. It's a Metroidvania experience. It plays really tight. The action is not exactly what I want, but it's not bad by any means. It is, you have like this flare that follows you and you just rapidly tap the X button on the Xbox controller to go and fire out like flare spurts basically to take out some of these enemies. So it doesn't have the combat that I so love with the Lost Crown, but
like you're looking for parries and stuff.
Yeah, not parries necessarily, but like when I'm slashing with swords, it looks cool, it feels tight.
Check out Castlevania.
Yeah, I know that there's a bunch of
it's a whip.
Yeah, there's a bunch of other but I wanted something cozy.
Yeah.
That was a big thing where I just wanted a game to turn my brain off. Right now, I'm also playing Elden Ring, and two very different types of games, very juxtaposed. And so I do like being able to sit down, enjoy the music, enjoy some great, tight platforming. There's some platforming sections that are awesome.
I thought it was more of a platformer than like an actual like action Metroidvania type deal.
But the platforming has some brilliance of like, there's one moment where there's like teleporters basically where you like jump through one, have to platform through another one to go through another one and like get that sequence. It hits that itch in my brain that I've been so desiring since The Lost Crown. So yeah, having a great time with it. I plan on being it hopefully this week. Maybe. I'm all in on Erdtree. Every time I pick up a controller right now, it's going to be for Erdtree. So yeah. And then for Erdtree, I beat the cover boss. So if you know who's on the cover of Erdtree, which if you play Erdtree, you probably know who's on the cover. I beat that boss most recently. That's probably my favorite boss fight ever at this point. It was the boss I was telling you about earlier.
Yeah, I didn't know that there was a boss on the cover. I don't even know what you're
Do
talking
you know,
about.
like, there? I'll show you in a moment. I'll pull it up. But yeah, it's terrific. I love it. I'm excited to get into my hot take because it may or may not deal with Erdtree.
1 second. Of the Erdtree cover art. I have no idea what you're talking about. Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Can I see it?
Yeah, this guy.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's him. I'm pretty sure that's him. It might not be.
Okay.
There's a red cape on this person also. But it feels awesome. Erdtree's unbelievable. You guys will get a full review next week from me.
Potentially. Don't promise it because you don't know if you can beat this
That's
bad
true.
boy.
That's such a good point where, like, my favorite thing is listening to the Kind of Funny Boys review it, and, like, Barrett and Andy are like, yeah, we beat it 9 out of 10, 9.5 out of 10, 10 out of 10. And then Blessing's like, I've experienced the whole game. I just am stuck on the last boss. Like, I have not beaten it. And I'm nervous because boss number 4 and 5 gave me
There's
fucking
12,
hell.
right?
There's 10 total, 7 mainline.
What is that? Oh, okay.
Like 7. There's 4 that you have to do to beat the game. There's 7 that, like, feels like when you go on the goldenish path that, like, you're gonna run into naturally. The level design in this fucking game, holy shit, it's so brilliant.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I faced, like, it was really funny. I get to the 4th boss and I'm like, am I supposed to be facing this right now? And then somebody in our chat was like, yep, they're the next one. And I'm like, fuck, dude, I'm getting
Is that the one that I was
bashed.
watching you
Yeah.
play? Oh, damn.
that.
That was fun. That was fun to watch.
I was talking to our buddy Shane about it. I'm like, having Connor in the room for Elden Ring, like, I love having him here because, like, it's a great vibe
I
and
didn't
everything.
say anything
And
when
Connor
you were
was
fighting.
super positive. He didn't like be like, what are you doing, or anything like that. He was very much about it. There is something though with playing a game like this and having somebody even by you that is you're so
but
personally
you're
frustrated.
people watching on stream though.
No, but that's not bad. I can't hear them. I can't feel them. I can read them when I look over, but it is a lot of, like, all right, I'm locking it in. I'm not able to lock in when there's, like, sound or just anything else.
I was yapping the entire time.
So that definitely was some fun though. Erdtree's been phenomenal. Thank you to everyone that showed up to the Thursday surprise stream. Shout out to Bandai Namco for providing that code for us. But yeah, we were able to surprise and be like, hey, we're playing it Thursday. And then Friday,
early for PlayStation.
Everybody
got to play it early on PC because it's 6 p.m.
And so the embargo was 6 p.m. For, like, doing live streams, and we had a code for PlayStation to do live streams and stuff like that. And so that was a ton of fun. And then Friday's stream was like, I was like this close to being like, fuck it, let's throw this up with on counter on. I'm going to bed and I'm waking up. I'm just gonna do more Erdtree. It's one of the most special games ever. I'm very, very excited to discuss it in a longer form and everything. Connor, you want to talk about what you've been playing a little bit?
So I've been playing Beautiful Joe. I recently finished Pokemon Snap, playing Sekiro at the same time a little bit, jumping between those two, mainly playing Beautiful Joe right now, and a lot of Valorant lately. I've been grinding that Valorant, which has been a lot of fun, honestly. The map pool right now is the best it's been in a long time, so that's been a lot of fun. But playing Beautiful Joe, and the thing I want to say about this game, because we're going to do a full-on what we've been playing lately podcast in the coming weeks, and we'll go over a handful of games, a whole suite of games. The way that I'm choosing what I'm playing recently, it's like I'm trying to have some diversity in what I'm playing. You know what I mean? I just played a Pokemon photography sim.
Yeah.
So I wanted to play like a kind of like a beat 'em up type deal. And I had played Manhunt recently, and I played Guitar Man, so a rhythm game and like a horror third person action game. A third person stealth game is what it is.
There you
go. So I'm playing Beautiful Joe. I have seen the art style for this for my entire life. I thought the main character looks really funny and goofy. I had assumed it was going to be funny and goofy going into it. Very much met that expectation. It's a beat 'em up action game, kind of like Devil May Cry, but 2D. It's made by Capcom, so that makes sense. And it is so hard. And it's not hard because the specific thing that I'm doing is difficult. I'm okay with dying a couple times. That's fine. It's the way that old games send you back to the beginning of levels when you run out of lives, or in some instances go back to your last save, and you can only save at specific points, so you're losing a ton of progress. So I'll play an entire level 30 45 minutes, and they can take longer because one of the main features of this game is you held L1 to slow down time, which is really cool. And you can like dodge, and then that'll put like a slow marker on an enemy where you slow down time, you punch one, and then they will knock into somebody else, and then that will make everybody slow around them. So then you can use your meter as it's going down to make sure you hit more people and knock them into it. It's really stylish and cool. And it sounds like it's very difficult to explain because there's a lot going on. There's a mode where you can go really fast. There's a mode where you can zoom in and do special moves like a spin kick and stuff like that. But I keep getting to final bosses and levels and losing 45 minutes of progress and just being like, I'm going to go play a game of Valorant because I can't do this right back to back. I just did this. So I am only maybe a third of the way through. I've also been wanting to play short games. So I played Pokemon Snap for 4 hours. Great. Digestible. Amazing.
That was 4 hours?
Yeah.
Oh,
so
that's
good.
so nice.
So good, dude. And I unlocked everything. I got all the
Did the whole
Pokemon.
damn thing.
So that was a ton of fun. And then Beautiful Joe, 8 hours. I've played over 8 hours already. Like I'm dying so many times that like it's just so difficult. But it's very rewarding. But now that I've just played more than 8 hours, I'm afraid I'm not going to finish it. I might get burnt out on it because I'm just like really slogging my way through. Still really enjoying it. Doing like one mission a night, I feel like is kind of the move right now. But we'll see. I have a lot of stuff that I want to play.
And then Connor. Child's died twice, baby. Are you gonna do it? You gonna get after it?
Oh, I mean, I'm through I would say the first major boss, like the one on the horse, one on the horsey that has like a big sword that like. But I've already beaten that boss before. It only took me 2 or 3 tries to beat him. It took me like fucking 15 the first time I played that game. It's a ton of fun, loving it, having a great time. But it's one of those things that it's so hot right now, and this is a very like specific to me problem. I live on the 3rd floor of my building. It's super hot. We don't have central AC, so we have 2 AC units that that are like roller ones because like our windows are too small to like put like an actual like in window unit. But it's convenient because we can go back and forth with them. So Lori's in the living room usually, which is where the PlayStation is right now, and she's playing a ton of Persona 5 again. She can't be stopped.
I'm like,
I'm like, play Xenoblade. She started it and she's like, I don't like it. I'm like, you didn't give it enough of a chance. Like, she played like an hour of it and she's like, I don't like it. I'm like, it's a JRPG. It takes a while to get going. You know this. You play JRPGs.
Can't stop, won't stop.
And she's like, I had already started a Persona 5 playthrough, the second playthrough, in order to do the platinum. And she got the platinum and she already had that save file where it was about halfway through the game. And she was like, fuck it, I'm just going to go all the way.
Is she playing Royal?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah, I just want to make sure.
So she's gonna like max out all her confidence. The platinum trophy for Persona 5 is not a completionist trophy at all.
Oh, nice.
It's very weird. I thought she had to like complete and capture all the personas. No. Max out all your confidant rankings. Nope. That's weird. I thought I was like, that's
I love that though. For Persona.
No, that's cheap.
For Persona, you're already playing 100 something hours.
Now you should have to 100% the game. Or like yeah, that's the point of a platinum trophy.
No, the point of a platinum trophy is to induce you to play more of the game.
It's to 100% the game. You're getting a 100% platinum rating. That means you did everything.
You want to know something I'm excited about?
That's most of my platinum.
We haven't discussed this in nearly enough on content. Me and Brady doing a platinum race for Astro's Playroom is going to be unbelievable this year.
Dude, I can't wait to platinum Astrobot. We're in the
Astrobot.
This is a great shirt.
It's a great shirt.
But honestly, like SGF is worth it just for the shirt, honestly.
Yeah, thousands of dollars, but you know, this $25 t-shirt is fucking gas.
It's really good stuff. So yeah, playing Sekiro, playing Beautiful Joe. I also want diversity in the consoles that I'm playing on. So I did 2 PS2 games. I feel like I got to stay off the PS2 for a little bit. N64, was doing Secret of Mana, dropped off of that. So that was SNES. I want to do.
When are you going to get back to that?
I don't think I am.
I need you to do it, man.
I want to do a platformer next, I think.
Yeah, platformers are so much fun, dude.
Yeah. But then I'm thinking about doing Castlevania, which is technically a platformer, but it's more of like a Metroidvania. So. Yeah. I don't know. I'm playing a lot of stuff though. I'm having the best year of gaming of my life.
Oh,
it's been so much fun.
Connor, I need to discuss something with you, dude.
I know.
Fucking console Valorant, baby. Come on.
Why?
Dude. So let me first break this down. Is it as good as normal Valorant? No. It's not. It is like, it feels way less technical. It's not as good. But there's something about it that brings me back to sitting on the couch playing Search and Destroy. Because that's what you're playing. You're playing Search and Destroy. On the couch, it feels way better than it should. It does. Like
How does
it's
like a
insane.
jet dash and like the
Dude,
movement?
it's the movement is a little bit off, but like people are doing it. I
That's
think that
wild.
a lot of people are leaning into playing Duelist though, also because they want to run and gun a little bit more. They want to like get into the action. So I feel like a lot of less people are playing
It's
controls.
also the meta right now
Is ISO
is all
dual?
duelist. It's
Yeah,
Neon and ISO got big buffs. Rana got a buff as
yeah.
well. Like it's annoying. I
It,
hate it. Every
it
single game I play Omen every game,
yeah.
just about, especially with the map pool right now. I might play Sage on Icebox, but for the most part, I'm playing Omen. So like at least I have value to the team, and then it's like 3 or 4 duels. Okay.
Yep. But I'm having a great time with it. I got to play a few games with Snowbike Mike this week.
Snow bicycle.
I just suck, dude. It was so funny. I went from like 2 games where I'm dropping aces, I'm kicking ass, and then I play with him. It's the day before the Nintendo Direct, and I still have to set up for the Nintendo Direct in the morning. And it's 1 a.m. and I play the first game and I do poorly, and I am exhausted. I've been up since 6 a.m. I went to the office in the morning. I'm fucking tired. And he just boots us into another round without there wasn't a moment. There wasn't a pause. It was, we finished the round up. We're going, baby. And we get in a round immediately. And I'm just like, dude, I'm so sleepy. And I say that. And he's just like, well, they're in it now, dude. And I'm like, all right, let's go. And I just sucked. So hopefully I get to run it back with him soon, because that's always a good time. But it's a lot of fun. And it always is like a good excuse to get more people to play a game. And hopefully I do know for a fact that Riot's just going to make a shit ton more money off those skins, dude. It's going to be wild. I want to hop in my hot take so badly. I've been ready for this hot take all week. Like I'm really ready for this.
You seem like it. He's rearing to go.
My gaming hot take for this week is that Shadow of the Erd Tree will get nominated for Game of the Year. So let me break this down. Let me break this down for you. First and foremost, there's a lot of people discussing this right now, and most people will start with the fact that last year Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom Liberty did not get nominated for Game of the Year. It did not get nominated, not because it's a DLC. It didn't get nominated because it didn't get enough votes for Game of the Year.
No,
the way
it
that
didn't
the game
get nominated because it wasn't good enough in comparison to the other games that were nominated.
I agree. So the way that Game of the Year works, for a lot of people that do not know or understand, it is voted upon by polls of people in the games industry, insiders. We're talking IGN and GameSpot, these bigger companies, all the way to like these more middling companies when it comes to games coverage overall, not these titans like Kind of Funny, like Easy Allies. Bunch of gaming pundits come together. They submit their list for all these different categories. That is how it is determined. That is 90% of the vote, and then it is a 10% fan vote. That is how Game of the Year works, and that's how it gets decided when Jeff Keighley reads open what wins Game of the Year. Last year, Phantom Liberty got nominated for certain categories. It went and won certain categories, if I remember correctly. It was a great DLC. Shadow of the Erd Tree is one of the definitive DLCs, if not the best DLC of all time. It is 30 to 35 hours of content. That is more than you get with Spider-Man that was nominated last year, Alan Wake 2 that was nominated last year, Resident Evil 4 that was nominated last year. The content's there. It is so content rich. The verticality of this map, you see the map that is Shadow of the Erd Tree, and you're like, oh, that's pretty small compared to Elden Ring. The verticality and the way that you can go up, 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 and down, down, down is insane. This game's huge. It's huge.
It better be. It's now 2 years.
It now comes down to the fact of, will it get written in enough? And I think you look across this gaming landscape as it stands right now, and I know we got some heavy hitters coming down the line, Astrobot, Dragon Age, the Veilguard, a few others that like a Black Myth Wukong. A lot of bangers are still up to come this year. But right now, I think that most people think of this first half of the year and they're like, pretty weak. I don't think that at all. I think it's been a great first half of the year. There's so many fucking games to play all the time.
So many games.
But right now, the way that I am thinking through this is end of the year, I think that Final Fantasy VII Rebirth gets nominated from the first half of the year. Maybe Helldivers 2. And then Erd Tree. Erd Tree will get nominated. There's going to be too many people in those companies having the discussion of like, you're telling me Erd Tree wasn't the best experience we had in gaming this year? For most people, it will be the best experience in gaming this year. It will be. For me, it's one of the top 3 easily. Like, this is so impressive. It is so insane what this team over at FromSoft is able to do. And I do believe that it will be nominated because it will get enough votes. There will be enough people clamoring for it to not just be one of the 5 or 6 games that they nominate to go and be potentially game of the year. It will be their number one. There will be some people being like if we were able to do it for our company and everything and be like, all right, you, me, and Brady sit down and we get to go and vote for the Game Awards. They call us up to like, hey, we want you to be part of this panel and everything. I would 100% be like, this is on our list. I don't care. It has to be on our list because it is one of the best gaming experiences this year,
Right.
if not the best gaming experience this year, and it will be nominated at the Game Awards.
Here's the problem for me. There isn't a definitive reason as to why I think this other than I just don't like it. Okay. I don't like the idea of DLC being nominated for Game of the Year at the Game Awards. If it's a personal list and you want to put Shadow the Erdtree in your top list, that's fine. If it's IGN or GameSpot or any of those websites, fine. The Game Awards holds a special place as like the end all be all for Game of the Year for a lot of people, and I think they've earned that. Honestly, I think that's a fair assessment. For it to be taken seriously, in my opinion, DLC cannot be up for Game of the Year.
But people say that about remakes, dude. People,
yeah, that's
the same
ridiculous,
people.
Though. That's ridiculous. I don't
Why?
agree with that.
Why is that ridiculous?
Because remakes often like totally change the game.
This Erdtree is changing the game, adding more content.
It's adding. It is already from a game that already exists.
People would say that remakes are already from a game that already exists. That's my argument.
I don't
If you
agree.
allow one of them, you have to allow all of them. And now that we've already allowed one of them, I've read the rules on this. I think the DLCs can be voted to be nominated for these things. It is within fair play, and this is the biggest example. It is the only one that really can do it, unless From comes out with another game or something along the lines of like Witcher 3 or Witcher 4 has a DLC that is 50
right.
more hours of content, whatever you want to call it. This will be nominated, and I'm not going to say it's going to win. I think that that's too outlandish because I don't think it will get that amount of votes, but I do think it will get enough votes to be nominated at Game of the Year, and it'll be a very interesting conversation. That's my hot take.
I hope it's not, personally.
I
just think it's less of an interesting conversation because it'll win, in my opinion.
It won't. Do you think if you think it won't be nominated?
No, it will. If it is nominated, if it's allowed to be nominated, it will get nominated and it will win.
It is allowed, though.
Okay, all right.
Do you think
that's and I will be annoyed. I think that's fucking annoying. It's such an uninteresting conversation to have a From Software DLC win Game of the Year when it's FromSoft and and this isn't even a bad thing. There's a huge bias towards FromSoft on like the quality of their games, like on like just like
they're
the best of the best,
yeah.
like which is fine. I don't even necessarily disagree, but like it's an uninteresting conversation to have when there's games that are new, interesting games that came out this year that should be nominated.
That's why it will get nominated, but it won't win because there will be companies that go and say, hey, we're just not doing DLC. We're just not going to. Why would we do that?
I don't think there's companies that can make that call. I think there's companies that just get to be like, it's individuals that vote. Does IGN get multiple people at IGN get to vote?
I believe that the people sit in a sort of war room type and then get a list together and submit their 5. And if that is the case, I think that certain companies will be like, let's not do DLC. Let's not. And then certain companies will. Enough companies will to get it in that top 6. But I don't think that you can. There'll be more companies that are like, oh, fucking Helldivers 2 has to be there this year. Oh, a Resident or Final Fantasy 7 remake or Rebirth has to be here this year.
I just hope it doesn't.
I think it will, but I don't think it's gonna win. And I
think it will, and it will win, and I will be very annoyed.
I think it will. It won't win, and I'll be very happy it's nominated and did not win.
If we're sitting here watching the Game Awards and Erdtree wins, my reaction will be this. I swear, I promise it'll be exactly that.
If Erdtree gets nominated, I'll be very happy, and if it wins, I'll be very upset. I do think that
if it gets nominated, it's gonna win.
No, it won't. Like I just said, do you think that there will be certain companies that are voting on this that go and say, I know, they go and say it's not good enough. It's not like we don't want to do a DLC. Like my whole thing is, there are companies that are going to give this a 9.5, 10 out of 10, and then just say, no, we can vote on it. We're just not going to. We want to honor other things and have the opinion that you have. Like, well, we probably just shouldn't, even though it's allowed.
Right.
But then there'll be a lot of companies that I think are like, it's fucking Erdtree. Come on.
Right. My hot take. My gaming hot take for this week is about the PlayStation 3 versus the Xbox 360 and the way people talk about this. Because the way people talk about this generation of games is that the Xbox 360 is one of the greatest consoles of all time. It's amazing. It's so good. Halo, Call of Duty, Gears of War, amazing. And it's because of the memories you have on that console and the nostalgia. But when you look at both of these consoles on paper, the PS3 dog walks, absolutely annihilates the Xbox 360. Let me go through some exclusives for you real fast on the PS3, all right? The Last of Us, Metal Gear Solid 4, Guns of the Patriots, Little Big Planet 1 and 2, Infamous 1 and 2, Resistance 1, 2, and 3, Demon's Souls, Killzone 2 and 3, Ratchet and Clank Tools of Destruction, and A Crack in Time. Warhawk, God of War 3, God of War Ascension, Mod Nation Racers, to name a few. There's a few. For PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale. There you go.
Battle Royale.
With the Xbox 360, you have Halo 3, Reach, and 4.
Yep.
An ODST. And then you have Gears 1, 2, and 3. And Judgment, I guess. If you count that. And then you have Fable 2. I know Fable 3 is out there, but a lot of people don't like Fable 3. Correct? As I understand it. Those are solid games. Some of the best games of all time with Halo 3. And some would argue some of the Gears games as well. But like what I just listed. Oh, and I didn't say any Uncharted. It's 1, 2, and 3. Uncharted 1, 2, and 3.
I was about to say Uncharted 2 is the second best.
I mean, that's probably the most essential piece of this puzzle here. But yeah, the Uncharted's as well. So there you go. The reason that people love the 360 is because of online gaming. And it comes from Call of Duty for the most part, but that was also on PlayStation, dude. Like a lot of our memories from this generation come from Call of Duty Black Ops 1 and 2 and Modern Warfare 2. And like those were on PlayStation and they were free on PlayStation for online. So that's another factor as well. And then the final button here, sales. Which one outsold the other one? And the thing that this is something that people don't talk about at all because people think that the PS3 got absolutely mollywopped during this generation. That is not true. The PS3 sold 87.4 million units. The Xbox 360 sold 84. So 3 million over for the PS3. Like the PS3 ruled. And I know that the 360 is great. I'm not even arguing that either of these are bad, like or the Xbox 360 is bad in any capacity. I'm just saying like when we look back on our nostalgia with these consoles, it's the PS3. It's not the Xbox 360.
Yeah, my biggest thing is as much as I do love The Last of Us now and Uncharted 2 when that came out and all the bangers, that generation for me is third party is king. Like with across the board, all the third party games are just so fucking unbelievable that you can play on both.
PS3,
You can play on both. And so then you're talking about multiplayer being king. My biggest issue is I think that everyone cared about multiplayer so much there that even though you are talking about great single player exclusives on the PlayStation side, and then there's things like Little Big Planet that you can't play with friends from the first party lineup, Halo 3, Halo Reach, like those two games are just so important and so amazing. Like truly some of the best games ever. And so it's a hard discussion to have, but I do see the reasoning. I don't think it's a crazy hot take. I do think that the way that we talk about it, it sounds like, oh, the 360 is just up here when really it was a 1A, 1B situation.
And if that's the case, though, then how could 360 possibly be one of the greatest consoles of all time? You know what I mean?
I think that, once again,
then the PS3 would have to be one of the greatest
I think that they're
consoles of
both
all time.
awesome.
Right.
Especially the back end of the PS3 is just a lot of heat.
It's just so good.
It's just so good.
They just were crushing, dude.
But the front end of the Xbox through Halo Reach, you and I disagree on like heavily. Like
when it comes to the campaign, I like the combat.
You love the combat and you love the multiplayer. But like those Halo 3 or Halo Reach multiplayer nights with me and my buddies growing up, are you kidding me?
Yeah,
like
so
definitively some of the most fun I've had gaming. And then I think that people do associate for some reason, even though Call of Duty had exclusive deals with PlayStation, COD.
No, during that generation, it didn't.
Yeah, what?
During that generation, it didn't.
What are you talking about?
COD had exclusive deals with 360 during that generation.
Oh, yeah. Wait, with COD?
Yeah.
With 360?
Yep.
That's why.
And then it switched to PS4 is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Okay,
so I thought you said otherwise at the start of this conversation. I was like, but 360 is just unbelievable with the relationship with COD. I when I think about playing Call of Duty, I think about playing on the 360, even though I played on both. And so that's just sort of how it goes.
I think I'm playing on the PS3.
I know.
So crazy.
That's funny.
Alrighty, now we are going to hop into the mid-year update for the Fantasy Critic Video Game League that we started earlier this year with some of our community members. A few community members who donated very generously during Cup 64 Day to help us support the channel, upgrade a lot of this stuff, and make a lot of this happen. Thank you guys so much for that support.
Unbelievable. This was an episode that we promised as like one of those like, hey, we will do this because of the donations and everything post E3 season. Now that we are legitimately through the rest of it after the Nintendo Direct, but it feels like it's something we want to talk about. I didn't say this during the SGF stories of like one of the games that I got during SGF. Like, there's so much fun to talk about with the league aspect of it. Shout out to everyone that's been bidding, staying active. Like, everyone's been really awesome
Community's
with
been
this.
really good about it.
And yeah, I just want to, from the bottom of our hearts, like, not a lot of this happens without you guys. And we think that the Critic League is a great way to give some more incentive beyond just like the incentives that we normally provide for those big streams.
Get to be a part of the content.
Yeah, and this is legitimately part of the content. We're going to go through every single team. We're going to go through the games on the team. We'll talk about certain scorings, certain games, obviously the highlights. We're not going to run through every single game.
I think we're
going to read every game, but I don't think we're going to like go for too long about meeting the Hollower, like stuff like that.
All right, the way this is going to work, or let me explain Fantasy Critic real fast. Just a quick refresher for you. The way that this works, there's 10 people in the league. We all draft a team of games at the start of the year. I think it was 5 games apiece for each team. There are 10 slots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 slots on every single team. So you draft 5, then you have 4 to pick up throughout the year. The way that scoring works is it is based off of Open Critic scores. So you pick a game that you think is going to score well review-wise. And Open Critic is a website that aggregates all the major publishers of reviews, their scores, and gives you a final score, like aggregate. Yeah, the aggregate score. So if something gets a 77, any point above a 70 is 1 point. So 77 gets you 7 points. 82 gets you 12 points. The only kicker here is that if it goes above a 90, you get double points for every point above a 90. So if it's 91, it is 22 points. 92, it is 24 points.
95 is 30, baby.
95 is 30. The other factor is a counter pick. You pick one game on somebody else's team that you think is going to do poorly. That goes in your counter pick slot, and you get negative points for every positive point they get. So it can kill you by getting a lot of negative points. Your goal is to minimize risk there. So pick something that you think isn't going to come out. If something doesn't come out, it gets you 0 points. And if it does come out and it scores a 77, you get -7 for your team. If it goes negative below a 70, you get positive points. So a 68 would get you +2 points for your team or something like that. So we're going to go through everybody's team by team, game by game. Go over what has happened, what has come out, go over what is coming up, because a lot of the games now that we're through the Summer Game Fest season, your Nintendo Direct, your PlayStation State of Play, your Xbox Showcase, we know basically what's coming out for the rest of the year for the most part. So we're going to go through, everybody's team and discuss all of these games. And if you're not interested in Fantasy Critic, it's still fun. We're going to have a fun discussion about each of these games, talk about how we thought they were going to do, how they ended up being, what we think about the rest of the year. So it's a mid-year check-in on 2024 video games.
Yeah.
We're also going to do it with the backdrop of Fantasy Critic to kind of have some sort of organization to this whole thing. So lock in. It's going to be fun. We're going to kick it off with my team.
I was about to say,
I'm
Connor's
first listed. I think we're the same listed.
Yeah,
correct? I assume.
I assume so. Connor's team was the first pick. So he had the first up to bat. And Connor decided to not pick a fucking game with his first pick, even though it's not allowed to be voted for Game of the Year.
Yeah.
He allows it in this.
Well, it's the normal rules to allow a major expansion for it.
Okay.
Okay.
So I agree with that sentiment for the Game Awards.
Nick, for Fantasy Critic holds a little bit less weight than the Game Awards.
Does it? Because for me, it's the most important thing ever.
Okay, whatever. So we're going to kick it off with my team, CE Project Red. My first overall pick was Shadow of the Erd Tree, which has a 94 on Open Critic. Who could have guessed? 28 points for my team. Love to see it.
I'm going to throw this out there. It should be higher.
No way.
I don't think that for me, my early prediction, just with how much fun I'm having with this game, is a 9.5. That's where I think I'm gonna give it the
Yeah.
next week. I don't. I had some performance issues is my biggest thing where like there was stuttering in a couple boss fights, and that is the one thing FromSoft cannot do is like have it actually be the game that breaks you and not you breaking yourself
Right.
when it comes to these boss fights. Some pop in, some like just like certain moments of just like sluggish performance. That is the biggest reason why I'm like I can't really give it a masterpiece score because like there's frustration that comes with that.
Right.
But I think that it should. For me, I'm like it should have as many tens as it does nines, and it should. And if you give it below 9, I think you're fucking insane. I think you're trying to be edgy.
Okay.
But 9.5 is like the score where I'd be around, and so 94 makes sense. I know it's not. I think though it could be
Yeah.
a little bit higher. I think that it's a masterpiece, except for if you have no performance issues, and you should give it a 10. Oh,
Interesting.
oh yeah, yeah. That's how.
I mean, this is what I expected from this game. Honestly, I'm happy people are enjoying it, having a good time with it. I'll get to it eventually.
Totally.
After I beat Sekiro and Dark Souls 3 and all the other ones.
Cows die. 2 times.
Next up, we have Unicorn Overlord, published by Atlas. Same developer as 13 Sentinels, Aegis Rim. They don't make bad games. Dragon's Crown.
This got an 18 points for a score of 88. They
Yep.
absolutely delivered with this one.
I want to check this one out on Switch.
I
but
know.
there's just too many games,
It's
dude.
this came out. It came and went a little bit, which is kind of frustrating.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I feel like there wasn't a lot of buzz around it, which is interesting because but 13 Sentinels had buzz well after release, so it might get that later down the line. I've only heard great things about it though. The art style is insane. I really want to check this out eventually. I feel like Gooperman in our
Gooperman would love this one, dude.
our Discord would probably be about this game. Seems up his alley. We're just gonna go through the ones that are out right now first, and then we'll talk about.
Okay.
We'll just do a
And then
run
we'll
through.
run through the rest of the team.
Grand Blue Fantasy Relink, next game of the year. Can't
This
believe
is
Nick
a
played this game.
prime example. Connor every now and then is like, like Connor plays more games than me objectively. When I'm not streaming, I sometimes watch TV. I sometimes just like scroll on my phone a little bit more. Whereas Connor gets off work at like 4 o'clock, we'll eat a meal and then game for the rest of the night. But there are moments that this year I'm like, dude, I'm a fucking gamer. Like I'm just playing fucking games, and this is the biggest example of it. Grand Blue Fantasy Relink, awesome, great time, great action-based combat, great cast of characters. I cared about these characters.
Would you change your score at all?
Nope, I would give it an 8. So
8? Yeah.
I think it's an 8 out of 10.
Do you remember anything about this game?
So like I remember the overarching story of it and everything, and I remember the music being phenomenal, and the combat that I was utilizing was really cool. I fell in love with one character's combat, even though I started to towards the end of the game being like, oh yeah, I gotta fucking review this, so I'll play as other people. But like I was really digging one of the characters' combat. I think that if I was in a different spot in my life where I didn't have to jump onto the next thing, I would like to go back and play some more of it because the music's really good. Loved the side quests in this one, which like for me, side quests normally aren't great, but every single time that I could like open a map and like hop into a arena fight or whatever, I was all about it. So I like my 8 out of 10 score. I think that is legitimately for me is solid 8 out of 10. I think it's a great video game.
You're right there with Open Critic because Open Critic is an 81, 11 points for my team. I'll take it. That's the bread and butter for your team. That's where you're shooting for.
That was also your 4th pick. So like you're like, once you get to your round 3 or 4, it's like give me 12 to 13 points and you're sitting pretty.
Right. Next up, we have Ayuden Chronicles 100 Heroes, the spiritual successor to the Suikoden franchise. 75 on Open Critic. Unlucky. I thought this was a guaranteed shoe in 80 at least, and it just disappointed, unfortunately.
Do we want to talk about your counterpick here or when we get to that person's team?
No, we'll talk about the counterpick here.
Okay. Because that's the last thing that's come out on your team, basically, which is unbelievable. Destiny 2, the final shape, Connor counterpicked, meaning the points that this game gets, he loses, and it is at a 92 on Metacritic right now.
So I have a negative 24 point hit on my team. The most I think I've ever seen anybody get.
Yeah, it's up there.
In fantasy.
I've seen certain ones where people don't think games are going to come out that we know are going to be awesome. But Connor knew this game was coming out, picked it.
Because Lightfall has like a mid 70s or something. So I thought that Destiny had lost the sauce a little bit. And I guess
especially also with the aura that's around Bungie right now.
Apparently they just are crumbling internally. So like I thought that this was almost at least safe that it would be around an 80, not a 92. Like that's crazy. But I mean, good for Destiny. Happy for the fans of the series. But man, I'm not happy about
For
it.
me, as someone that picked Lightfall last year when we just did this with some friends in a couple leagues, I before it, every single Destiny expansion, money
Guaranteed.
in the bank.
Yep.
Guaranteed 85, 88, 90, like just terrific. And then Lightfall
At
comes
least
out.
an 80. Yeah.
And maybe the one before also didn't perform well. I forget if it was
Seems
just
like
one.
every other.
Or, yeah,
It seems like every other big expansion for Destiny
it hits or doesn't.
Yeah.
But this one hit, and we'll get to the person that drafted in just a moment. But they did a great job.
But real quick, we're going to go through the rest of
Oh,
my
yeah.
squad here. I drafted Mina the Hollower, the next game from Yacht Club Games. I think I'm going to drop this one because we haven't heard from it in
I don't
so
believe
long.
you can. You can drop one game that is guaranteed not to come out, or it might not be able to come out, or whatever. Like you can drop one for sure that no matter what the circumstances. Are you saying that this would be that for you?
I think so.
Oh, nice. Yeah. So
And
yeah,
then I
it's probably
have
not
the
coming out.
Plucky Squire, which was counterpicked by somebody. I think that this still has a pretty solid chance of coming out this year from Devolver. Great art style, looks very cute. I think this will be above an 80 for sure. Then I have picked up Dragon Age the Veilguard. That
How much did you
first
spend on
trailer,
it?
like 15 or something like that.
Oh, 15?
Yeah.
I spent $13 trying to get this one. I like this is.
You have $100 budget of fake money for your team.
But I had
go through it.
$13 left. I'll get to the reasoning why in the future. I would have spent as much as I could on this one. This is going to bang. From what we've seen, I think this is a banger. It's one of my most anticipated for the rest of the year, if not behind Astros. My most anticipated. Yeah.
That first trailer was horrible. The one that they showed at the Game Awards.
No, Xbox.
At Xbox, and then when they showed gameplay, I was like, "Oh, this looks way better! Like way better than I thought it was going to."
I enjoyed that trailer. I know it didn't
it's
hit.
so Marvel.
We like Marvel movies. We enjoy Marvel movies.
I don't like Marvel comedy.
I enjoy some Marvel comedy. It needs to hit. Like, do you see Guardians 3?
Yeah.
Open the fucking door. Are you kidding me? Have me laughing. Have me
Yeah,
laughing.
Guardians comedy is for Guardians. It's not for everything.
I understand, but now we have fucking Concord, and everyone's like, it's Guardians. I'm like, I love the Guardians. What are we talking about?
But it's not as good.
We don't know yet. We literally don't know yet.
We do know from the trailer.
I was laughing during that trailer. It was a good time.
Alrighty. And then I picked up Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D remake. That is a guaranteed, I think it's a guaranteed 90. I think that game's going to bang.
I don't know if it's 90, but I'm nervous about it. I'm nervous.
You're nervous
No,
about
I'm nervous about the amount of points you're going to be getting from it, for sure.
Didn't put fucking any money on that. I knew nobody was bidding on that.
I went and I think I sprinkled a bid on it. I think I tried to throw like $2 on it.
I think I did like less than 10.
Yeah, I think there was a bunch of games that I filled out my team with sprinkling some cash on because I only at a certain point had very little money because I had to secure one game. But we'll get there in a moment.
I put the rest of my money down except for $1. I have $1 left on my team on The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom. I think this game, it's a Zelda game. Like 80 plus guaranteed, could go into the 90s. I think that this is a solid. I can't wait for this game. I think the puzzles look really fun. I love the mechanic that they're adding in. I do wish that they gave her a full-on weapon instead of like a magical staff. Like it could have been the staff and the weapon, but we'll see. I don't we don't know what the combat looks like necessarily.
We got to see the copy and paste combat and everything. That looks cool.
With just the guy fighting for her?
Yeah.
That's lame in my opinion.
I also think that there's gonna be like fun ways to like trap people in certain things.
Well, there was one section where she like was shooting rocks.
Yeah.
Or something.
No, you can like pick up a rock and throw it at someone too.
Okay.
Which
I mean,
I like. See. I think that that's cool. I think that this game,
I want to be able to hit things.
I think that this game is guaranteed Nintendo bump, money in the fucking bank.
Yeah, 100%.
85 plus. It's such bullshit. I went all in. I'm kind of regretting going all in.
The only issue
I'd rather have your lineup instead of what I did.
The only issue with this is that the Nintendo bump isn't necessarily foolproof. Princess Peach.
We'll get there in a moment, but I feel like we all knew what that game was, and it didn't feel like that. It was like, oh, it's going to get a Nintendo bump to at least an 80 was sort of that expectation, and it didn't get there. You ready to go to the next team?
Yeah, next up we have Batted Degrees team. BD Studios, one of our community members. His first pick was Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and what a doozy. 93 on Open Critic. People don't talk about this game like it has a 93.
I don't get it. I understand the way that I talk about this game and Connor talks about this game is extremely high in our favorite Final Fantasy and all this. Like, it's my favorite game ever.
So good.
And people just think I'm out here talking about it in a ridiculous way. I gave it a 9.5. A 93 on Metacritic means a lot of fucking people gave this a 9.5 or a 10. I am not the insane one. I'm not. And so we're out here having this discussion like it's not the cat's pajamas when this game is freaking awesome.
It's the bee's knees.
It's the bee's knees, dude. Like, we talk about it all the time on this channel. I'm not going to go and belabor the point, but it is one of the best games this year, if not the best game that's released this year in its entirety. I adore it. I love it. I love it so much. And from music alone, soundtrack alone, this is one of the best games ever.
It's the best game on PS5.
Yeah, I think so.
And it's my favorite game on PS5, and it's the best game on PS5, if I'm being perfectly honest. So,
and this is a quote that I enjoyed recently that I saw from Max Dude while he was talking about the Elden Ring DLC. This game doesn't have certain polish that others do, like when it comes to grass physics, in the same way that Elden Ring doesn't give a fuck about grass physics. What do we want? We want a vast open world that has beautiful vistas and screenshot moments. And there's moments that Final Fantasy does not have that. But the moments that it does, it fucking delivers more beautiful than anything else. Cutscenes obviously are otherworldly, but like,
game runs so smooth.
It's so smooth. As an open world, this is a open world. You can go wherever you want at the end of this game. You can go on a boat ride and show up to wherever the fuck you want to go from any previous area.
Seamless.
It's seamless. It's unbelievable. I adore this game. Queen's Blood alone is an 88. I like, what do you want from me?
Next up, he has Mario vs. Donkey Kong, the remake. I think this game is a cult classic when it comes to like people talking about it, but I think that when you really pull back the seam on that nostalgia, you can tell that this was a 76.
Yeah, I think that a 76 makes sense.
Yep. Next, we have Destiny 2, The Final Shape, which
He's
he has
a believer.
A 92. I think this is a great pickup, or a great pick for him.
And he fucked Connor. Hey, no doubt in my mind.
Totally messed me up. Negative 24 points, but 24 points for him. That is a solid pickup. He is currently projected for first in the league because the rest of his team looks like this. Black Myth Wukong. How you feeling about Black Myth Wukong, Nick?
After seeing some gameplay go around post SGF and everything, I think that this is going to be a banger. I'm not calling 90 plus. I'm not calling 88 plus. I think guarantee we're talking 85 area though. 80 to 85 for sure.
The people who say this is a guaranteed game of the year nomination, I'm like, we'll see.
We'll see.
I'm curious. I hope it is. I want every game to be a guaranteed game of the year.
Do we want another awesome game? Sure.
Right. But from what I have seen, I think it looks great. Do I think that it looks groundbreaking, mind-blowing? No. I think it looks like a great Souls-like.
And I think that we need to start looking at this game with the expectations of Stellar Blade level of like awesomeness. And if it exceeds it, awesome. But like go in with that expectation. That's where I'm going in with it after seeing what we've seen. The people that played it really enjoyed it. I'm not saying that it's going to do poorly. Like I just said, I expect high 80s, but I'm not expecting 90s or game of the year at this point.
Star Wars Outlaws is the next team he has lined up. The next game he has lined up on his team, rather. I think this is probably an 85, and I think that is safe, and I would be stoked on that.
I think closer to an 83 at this point is my prediction.
People liked what they played.
I know. I'm saying that it will get a fuck ton of 8s with more 9s than 7s. That is sort of where I align. I'm stoked for this. I said this earlier in the year. This is going to be my favorite 8 out of 10 this year. Like, I'm so stoked to get my hands on this. We talked about it earlier this year, and we'll talk about Rise of the Ronin in a bit. But like, I want another checkboxy game in my life. Right. I want another going around, doing a few missions, clearing out a horde or something, like a base. Oh my God, sign me up. I'm stoked for this one. We currently have our like big board of like upcoming releases and things we want to review. I literally every single time I'm like, I'm stoked about that. I'm stoked about that. And then I get to Star Wars Outlaws. And I'm like, fuck yeah, baby. Yeah. Come on.
I'm stoked on it. And the fact that it's a third-person shooter, too, like, that's right up my alley. Cover-based third-person shooter, hell yeah. Next, he has a couple of indie titles. The Rise of the Golden Idle and SteamWorld Heist 2. I don't know a ton about either of these games.
Yeah.
I've heard great things about SteamWorld Heist in general. I've never heard of the Rise of the Golden Idol, but I'm stoked that if he knows something about that, then it must be pretty good.
Connor's got to know something about it. He's
Yeah.
got insider trading. He's seen pre-builds on this one. There's got to be something happening. But in all honesty, in all earnesty, I have bad degrees of fucking force right now in this league, and good for you, big dog. Oh, and then
He has Banisher's Ghost of New Eden as his counter pick, which got him a whopping negative 10 points because it got an 80. I think that's a solid counter pick.
Yeah.
It's not bad. Doesn't crush you like a 24 pointer does
Yeah,
to me, but
totally.
negative 10, you can live with that.
Well, would you sign up to get negative 10 points? No, you want a
No.
little bit less. But are you okay with it? You're totally fine.
Doesn't
with it.
break your back at all. Next up, we have Princess Brady, our illustrious Brady Goodall. His team kicked off with Persona 3 Reload, and it has an 88 on OpenCritic. This game bangs from the few hours that I played. My wife's favorite game of all time now. I'm honestly shocked it's only at an 88. I think it would be
I was
higher.
about to say I could see 90 plus here. 88 feels like a lot of people were just like, maybe it didn't hit at the right time. I know it sounds weird to say from a reviews perspective, but like I've not heard anyone discuss this game in the way that people discuss in 88. Like a lot of people are like,
Right.
oh, it's fucking phenomenal. And I'm like, so why doesn't I feel like it should have way more 9s and 9.5s than it does 8s and 8.5s. And that's how you get an 88 is have more 8.5s.
Right.
Or about the same 8.5s as 9s. I feel like there would be more 9s and 9.5s with the way people discuss this game. Seems awesome. Will I play it eventually? Eventually, yes. In this year, probably not.
Princess Peach Showtime, which when I think about this game, I think that when we talked about it, when it was announced, you're like, it's Nintendo. They make kids games, but they're good for adults. Peach Showtime is a kids game. Like we played it on stream, or Brady did. We watched him play the entire game. That is a game for children.
My boss went and asked me discussing Switch games. They were like, "Yeah, we have the Switch in the house. We're looking to get something for our daughter. What about this Princess Peach game?" And I was like, "Oh, play it on stream. She would love it. She'd be all about it. 7 years old, like that's perfect for her." And then it was really funny. She was like, "Yeah, my like 5-year-old tries to play Mario Odyssey. The cabbie mechanics way too difficult." I'm like, "Yeah, because that game is for adults as much as it is for early gamers and everything." But Princess Peach Showtime is like, you're gonna have a blast if you're under the age of 10. But us being 23 to 27-year-old man is like, I mean, it's all right. Like it's just it's a kid's game.
So that got a 75 on OpenCritic. Doesn't kill him, but not ideal.
It was his second
his second pick because you're banking on that Nintendo magic. They don't, and there is a clear Nintendo bump for Metacritic scores.
I also think that Princess Brady, for his team to be called Princess Brady, was like, I got to pick Showtime.
But he makes up for it with his third pick, Helldivers 2, which is sitting at an 83 on OpenCritic. You'd think it would be higher.
Yeah,
honestly.
I think it would be higher too.
But you and I, we got to go back because I think you and I made a bet that this was. Oh no, I said 85.
Yeah, 85. I won the bet.
Crap.
Connor owes me a 6-pack of beer. Everyone, let's go.
Shoot. I shouldn't have reminded him.
Thanks for reminding
So
me.
Helldivers 2, what a game, man. I just some of the most fun that I had playing video games this year. A couple weeks. Unfortunately, we had to move on too fast. I know a few people who still grind it out and are having a great time.
Yeah,
so.
Alex Golan was asking me to play on like Friday night. He's like, let's get something on the calendar. I just want to throw this out there. I've won 2 Metacritic bets with Connor for $2 now.
Mm-hmm.
And I just won a Helldivers bet. All I'm saying is, when it comes to guessing Metacritics, I'm great unless it's my own fantasy team.
Next up, he had Splatoon 3 Side Order, the expansion for Splatoon 3. 78, solid.
Yep.
I love me some
One of his
Splatoon
last picks, too.
Yep.
Like
that was his last pick.
Yeah, you know what you're getting when it comes to a last pick of, I just want 7 or 8
picked
points.
that up, actually. That's his 6th game.
Oh, good for him.
Yep.
I think you probably picked that up right after the draft, I assume.
And many of Brady's games from here are just solid bets, in my opinion. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, where are you feeling on that?
83.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I think it looks great.
Machine Games doesn't make bad games. They don't.
So I'm excited for that.
It's either good to great. I think it's going to be great. I think that it's going to be a lot of fun. My biggest question with it right now to you is, does it come out this year?
Yes.
I think so too.
Xbox needs it to come out this year.
Yeah.
And then we have Prison Architect 2. Never played this game, never heard of this game, but it is good enough to get a sequel. So there you go.
Bang.
Then he has 3 safe bets in a row, in my opinion. Diablo 4, Vessel of Hatred, guaranteed 80 plus. Diablo games review great. It's an expansion for a game that people already really love at this point.
I think 80 guaranteed. I'm calling 81.
Could easily be in the 90s, in my opinion.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Diablo.
I know.
Like, people fucking love Diablo.
No, Diablo 1 has like, or Diablo 4, sorry, not Diablo 1, has like a 90. So I'm just bumping it down, being like, it's gonna have to deal with how intense and expansive is this expansion and rating it off that.
2 years since
No,
Diablo 4?
it was last year's June.
June? I thought it was earlier last year, so I thought it was early last year, late this year, so about 2 years or a year and a half about. Interesting. Next, we have EA Sports College Football 25. I think this game benefits from the return. If this was a sequel and people could be comparing it to other things, it would be like, okay, well, that kind of sucks. But it just existing gets it like an 80 in my opinion.
I think that it existing gets it a 75. I think if it's pretty solid, it'll get up to like 81, 82. I don't think it'll be on that.
Do you think it's risky?
Not as like a pickup flyer. I think that you're talking 7 to 12 points. By the way, June 5th last year. I just remember it being right before Final Fantasy. Then
Brady has Call of Duty Black Ops 6. Looks like a return to form for Call of Duty. The longest dev cycle for Call of Duty in a long time, 4 years. So I think it's a solid pickup.
77 to 85.
I think above an 80 guaranteed.
Okay.
77 seems way too low for me. Call of Duty games review well in general.
It's normally around 75 to 85.
Really? You want to
Yeah.
look at even like Vanguard, I think, reviewed well. And people hate that game. It's the fans that don't like it. The critics don't really know, I don't think, when it comes to Call of Duty. It's really hard to predict how it's going to all function once the game is fully out. You know what I mean? And then he counterpicked the Plucky Squire on my team. Certainly could not come out this year, so we'll see.
On OpenCritic, Vanguard has a 72. That's what I know that it fluctuates. Yeah. COD's good.
It used to just be a guarantee.
Yeah.
Next up, Nick's team. Wow, you only have 2 games that have come out this year. That's wild. Rise of the Ronin with his second overall pick, 77.
I gave this game an 8 out of 10. Connor gave it a 7.5, right? Yeah. So like we're in a similar spot where 77 makes sense.
You would stick with an 8?
I'm the lower end of an 8. I really fucking enjoyed that game.
Yeah.
Like it obviously, like I said, with Star Wars Outlaws, I really just loved clearing out bases. The combat in that game is so fucking tight. I think that is really good. I think the combat is amazing. I would give the combat alone a 9 out of 10, but I think that the story left a lot to be desired. So like I'm at an 8, but like I see the reason for a 7.5. I don't see the reason for an 8.5. You know, I'm between that 7.5 8 area, and I lean to an 8, but 7.5 is not a bad call. So 77, I'm okay with it. I wanted more from it. I think that from what we saw, it really came down to, is the story going to deliver? And it didn't deliver. So 77 makes sense.
Next up, we have Penny's Big Breakaway. What is this?
It's a platformer with a cool art style that had some hype going into the year. I'm just a little upset that I got taken away with the art style, because a cool art style can provide a big win, but man, oh man, when there's no real substance beyond that and it's just a cool game, 7 points is sort of what you get.
Hit me with the rest of your team, Nick. Go down the line. All of these have not released yet.
All these have not released yet. First and foremost, I'm going from like top to bottom. One of these games just needs to fucking get announced that it's not coming out, and I'll get to it in a moment, but like, please, God, just hook it up. All right, my first pick, Metaphor ReFantasio.
90 plus.
90 plus. Yeah. I'm at the point with this game that
people get to play it at SGF2, and they all say it's amazing.
It's amazing. It's going to absolutely bang. It's going to bang. I'm so stoked on that one. I hope and pray that we can get codes for it. If not, I'm probably not playing it. If I'm being realistic, I'm not playing it unless we get codes for it.
I'll play it and try to beat it, but holy shit, it's going to be tough.
Yeah, it's going to just be a huge undertaking if we do get there. Visions of Mana now has a release date. That's my third pick. I picked that after Rise of the Ronin. I think that that's a 77 to 85 guarantee with upside, with major upside. I think that game looks fucking awesome for what we've seen of it. I'm not going in with highest expectations, but if I can get 13 points from it, hell yeah, all about that.
I think it's a solid bet. 83.
Yeah. Following it up, Alan Wake 2, The Lake House. This is the story expansion for Alan Wake 2.
It's the Lake House and not the Lighthouse?
I think so, yeah.
Huh. Why did I think it was the Lighthouse? Like the movie, maybe. That might be why.
But no, I'm stoked for this one. I will play this in like, if will I play it? It's so interesting because I'm like, oh, we have Silent Hill 2 and a bunch of other games coming out in October that it's exciting.
When do you think this comes out? Seems like a December release.
I think it's more of an October release. I think they want to hit that horror area again.
Oh, interesting. That could be it. Yeah.
Next up, I've replaced. It doesn't seem like it's coming out this year.
I want it.
I want it.
though.
Looks cool.
I want it.
Looks cool. I want it. People had previews at SGF and they were like, it's not. It doesn't seem like we got told like probably not. And
Wait,
I'm
really?
not. Yeah. Did you not hear about this?
That it's not coming out this year.
Like it wasn't. It wasn't like this is coming out this year. There wasn't like this assurance of it
It's
coming out
weird
this
that you
year.
have it playable there. You have Stalker 2, which is like ready to go
Yeah.
soon, and then you have Replaced like at SGF. You would think that like those would be like the two closest if you're gonna have them showing there or
Yeah.
whatever. So I don't know.
And then after that we have Astrobot. I spent $87 on Astrobot of my $100 budget. Worth every fucking penny. Also, the way that this works is if we ever get like insider information or anything like that, we aren't able to utilize it. We have to wait until we are able to discuss with the league what we saw and everything. We're not
Yeah.
able to like see something and then pick it up to get like an advantage. But the way it worked out was we were able to play it, post our reactions to what we played and everything, and then I was able to pick it up after the
Oh,
fact.
you picked it up before.
Oh yeah, correction. I picked it up before we even played it, so then I was all good because we
Yeah.
played it that Sunday. I spent every fucking cent I had on it. $87 to leave myself with 2 games left with $13 to spend is dangerous. It is not what you normally do, but I did it to make sure secure that I got it over Connor's bid because I knew Connor was bidding a lot. I knew that Brady was bidding a lot. I didn't know that bids were going through at this point because I thought they already went through. And then Connor's like, "Oh, how much you bid on Astros? Or did you like, well, where are you at with Fancy Critic?" And I'm like, "Didn't bids go through?" They're like, "No." And I'm like, "Okay, I'm gonna bid everything I have for Astros because I generally not like the rest of my team is. Do I think it's gonna succeed? Maybe, maybe not. Do I want it to succeed? Yes, I want it to be a banger. And I think Astros, after playing a little bit of it, seeing Connor play 38 minutes of it, I got to play like 7 minutes of it. Fucking dude, this could be a 95.
Yeah.
Like there's
I can't wait for this game.
there's so few games on the board when you go and have these summer showcases, games that are coming out this year that can hit 95 level. Let alone, in my mind, if this gets below an 90 and it is just more of what we played and like creative levels and everything, I'm fighting someone. I'm going fisticuffs over this shit because it is that awesome. The team over at Team Asobi is in their bag. They're doing the damn thing. And shout out to PlayStation for letting us get hands on with it a little bit early and everything for SGF. If you want to see our previews, they're in a couple different spots, YouTube and TikTok. But like, dude, I'm stoked on this one. Next up, I went and picked up for $1. I picked up Concord.
That's such a bad pick, Nick.
Do I think that I'm going to get 20 points from it? No.
You're getting negative points on it. For
We
sure.
have a bet on it. We have a for 75. We just made this bet earlier in the day. 75 for Concord. I expect it to be over 75. Connor has 75 and under. I think I get 7 to 13 points. I'm still all in with a theory crafting that PlayStation does not want to fuck up their reputation when it comes to 1, their first party lineup, and 2, their live service lineup. And I think they work hand in hand. PlayStation. When was the last time PlayStation released a first party game that sucked?
For some people, Days Gone.
Okay, what was that? 2018? 17?
I think 2018 sounds right.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it's been 6 years. I came in hot there.
Yeah.
It's been 6 years. That's crazy. That is a track record that some would lose their mind over. And honestly, you look at where they've partnered up with people too. It's normally been pretty heat. I know Rise of the Ronin is a 77. That's
It's
the
just
biggest.
live service, Nick. This is a new thing for them.
I know, but they're 1-for-1 with live service.
But Helldivers was already a proven entity with the first one.
It was a proven entity. It had an 80 on Metacritic. It's not like this thing blew the doors off.
It's a great game.
Yeah, but then they come in, they partner up, and then they make something even better.
Yeah.
And that's what PlayStation does. They make great ideas even better. And I think that this is a prime example of it. once again, do I expect a 90? No. I also, this is another personal take. I just want it to be fucking good. Like, I'm happy that it's on my team so I can root for it and want it to be good because I'm going to play the fuck out of it. We have a stream planned. There are so few streams we plan for this fucking channel for new release games. And I'm like, oh, we have to play Concord together. Like, we got to hop in. That's going to be a blast for that first stream. Yeah, I'm stoked on this one. I really, really am excited. I love team-based shooters. I love arena shooters. Let me drop in with my buddies and have a great time. I'm stoked. And then I round out my team with I think $5 or $6 on this one with Life is Strange Double Exposure. I'm expecting an 80.
Is there a release date on this?
Yeah, it's October something.
Yeah, I think a lot of I've heard some
October 29th.
Some scuttlebutt from Life is Strange fans that they're a little upset about the handling of it being a sequel and how they're handling the choices made in the ending of the original, which I think is interesting. We'll see how that affects the overall perception of the game. These games generally review pretty well. People like the Life is Strange games.
Nice.
For the most part. So,
all right. Sorry for going a little bit long-winded on Asteroids and Concord and Replay's not coming out, but like I'm stoked. I'm stoked for my team. Do I expect to win? Right now I'm projected points-wise.
I think you're like projected for like 7th place out of 10.
I am projected for 6th currently.
Next up, we have Smalls9797, who first picked Dragon's Dogma 2. I thought this was risky because a lot of people said that it felt and looked like a PS3 game, but it's got an 87 on OpenCritic. Well beloved, a game that I bought, played an hour of, then got Stellar Blade and did not go back to. I would like to get back to it this year. We'll see when that happens, if that happens. I'm playing Beautiful Joe right now.
It all comes down to Game Awards. If it gets nominated for Game of the Year, I will run it. I will play this fucking game. If not, I will never touch this game.
Next up is Senua's Saga Hellblade 2, a game that Nick and I disagree on. It has an 81 on OpenCritic. Well received, but feels like when everybody talks about it that it's a garbage fire that nobody is going to remember in 6 months.
My biggest thing, it comes back to the conversation about Final Fantasy or 7 Rebirth. It got 8 5s. It got enough 8 5s to get to an 81. Got plenty of 8 5s.
Yeah.
Some 9s, some 10s.
Doesn't mean they're right.
Doesn't mean they're right. Oh, 100%. Critics can be wrong. But I want to say that I am not alone in this battle. I think that this is the most beautiful game I've ever played. I think it is the best audio in any game I've ever played. And that deserves to be awarded with a good score, in my opinion. Love me or hate me on it. I think if you disagree with me on this, that's totally fine. I see the reasoning of giving it a 5. Do I think it's immensely wrong? Yes. Do I get it? Sure. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, but 81 for me, I'm like, in my spot, I think that that's a very good spot for it to be. Because for me, my range when I was reviewing it was 7.5 down to an 8.5. Like, that was what made sense of, do I want to give this down to a 7.5? And at every single moment of cinematic beauty that I saw, I was like, I'm going up to an 8.5.
Next up, we have Stellar Blade, maybe the surprise of the year. Great action game, Devil May Cry, Sekiro mix, just gorgeous game, great combat, great music. I think the world is excellent. I think the story is very interesting. 82 on OpenCritic, fair. I think it should be higher personally, but
we both gave it 8.5s, and I feel pretty good on that. By the way, I didn't mention my counter pick is the World of Warcraft, the War Within expansion. I expect to get like -7 points on that.
I think you're going to get -15.
Okay.
85 seems, it's World of Warcraft. Like, cool. People like these.
People enjoy it. I just don't have, I don't feel good on it.
Next up, they had Sandland, a game that I thought about picking up, a game where the artwork is done by the creator of Dragon Ball and Dragon Quest, rest in peace. So yeah, not a great score, but I've heard good things. I've heard that it's good. It's fine.
Yeah.
So a little bit disappointing there, but then next up we have Foam Stars. I think we might have hyped this game up too much for them, and they picked it up because we were kind of stoked on getting soapy.
I love getting soapy with my friends. It's such an interesting game because there wasn't a moment playing this game that I was not having fun.
Yeah. But it's just very shallow.
I played like 10 hours, which like a large portion of that was I felt like I was supposed to speak first in the review on it and everything, where I didn't know if Connor was going to hop in enough to get a full review in and everything. So I was like, I've got to play this enough. And shortly enough, we both gave it sixes, and
Perfect.
we
It has a
moved on with
60
our day.
on-
And as a
on
60 on
Metacritic.
Metacritic, there is a part of us, because like a lot of our reviewing, we do not base off of what everyone else is saying or doing or whatever. At the time, we didn't know what people were giving it because there wasn't like early access to this game or anything. And when it came out and we gave it a 6, and then we saw a 6, we were like, nice. Yeah,
sweet.
it's good stuff.
Then we have Silent Hill 2 Remake coming out later this year.
Oh, are we hopping into?
Yeah.
I thought we normally would do their counter pick and then hop into the new
So
stuff.
they don't have any points on their counterpick yet.
Oh yeah,
So
that makes sense.
Silent Hill 2 Remake. Somebody else counterpicked this game. I think that this is a solid mid 70s. Personally,
I'm gonna get crazy with it. 74.
but you think it's gonna be good? I thought you thought it was gonna be good.
From what we've seen, I've gone downhill on this over time and everything. It's so hard to fuck up a remake to like let's just start. The music alone is gonna boost it to a certain score.
I
The
don't know.
aspect of
But disappointment can hurt us like
Oh, yeah, I
a
know.
remake a lot because it has something to compare it to.
yeah.
And if you're really disappointed in the visual fidelity and like you probably only get one shot at this and it's not great, I could see people giving it even less of a score because it's hurting.
Do you
from
see
their
anyone giving
expectations.
this game a 6 though?
Yes.
Damn.
It's Konami and Bloober Team,
I know.
dude. Like, people do not like the medium very much. And that was their last game. People really don't love Layers of Fear either. And, like, they've never made a great game.
Yeah.
So I think that this is going to be mid 70s. I was skeptical on it, but optimistic. And that optimism has just waned and waned. We'll see, though. This was their third pick. I think it's a good pick early in the year when we were first thinking about this game. But, man, it's just
Every
kind
time
of-
it shows up, less
yeah.
excited, looks worse. It's tough.
Next, they have Phantom Blade Zero. This game is not coming out this year.
It
There's no
looks
way.
awesome.
It looks great.
It's a great game if it were to come out. There's not a chance in hell,
Yeah.
though, it's coming out. Sadly.
Then they had Neva, the next game from the studio that made Grease. I've never known how to pronounce this game. I think this is a excellent pickup. Is it coming out this year officially?
No, we don't have a date on it, and that's what
Ooh.
concerns me. I think it's going to be a great game. I think it's going to review very well. I'm stoked to get my hands on it.
If it comes out this year, that's a great pick.
Great pick if it comes out this year, yeah.
Unannounced Mario 3D platformer is
This
their
was-
counter pick. Great counter pick. That is a solid 0 points, which is what you want from a counter
Yeah,
pick. You want to
this-
minimize damage. Getting positive points on a counter pick, really tough. You're generally going to go negative. So 0 is excellent if you pick a game that does not come out.
This was my pick. This is my third game I picked this year. I dropped it. I was able to drop it at a certain point. I dropped it. I'm sad that's not happening. This was also, you got to contextualize. Start of the year before we started getting more news and rumors about Switch 2, we were locked and loaded that Switch 2 was coming out this year. Locked and loaded.
Yeah, everybody thought it was guaranteed.
And so that's why you're going to hear some games be like, who the fuck would pick that nowadays? Different times. We got Big Mac next, who comes out with their first pick, Paper Mario, the Thousand Year Door remake, at an 89 on OpenCritic, 19 points for them.
Excellent pick.
Excellent pick. Pretty guaranteed. Next up, with a game with a score, Night Springs. Great
Alan Wake 2.
soundtrack. What?
Alan Wake 2.
Alan Wake 2, Night Springs, yes. 83, 13 points. Fuck yeah, you played this one already, and so where do you stand?
I
with
would
it?
give it like a 7.5. I think
Okay.
83 is too high, personally. I thought it was a good romp, but like nothing really to write home about.
Next up, Homeworld 3, a game that I do not know too much about.
Me neither.
Yeah,
But 79, not a bad pick.
It some good points, easy points, love it. And then sometimes you step up to the plate, you swing, and you miss.
Yeah.
And this is a prime example of that by old Big Mac picking Skull and Bones, which is at a 59 minus 10 points, which, by the way, they do have like the decimal points in to see if it's going to be like minus 10 points or 11 points. It says minus 10 points, so it's not like all the way down to 59. The math works out differently, but it says 59 minus 10 points for them. That's just a tough bid. When the pick was made, we're like, okay, like we love believing in it.
Right.
Pirate Adventure sounds cool and awesome, but it didn't work out. And then for the games that have not been released yet, his second pick, Microsoft Flight Simulator. It's got a date now, 2024, 90
90
at
plus.
least.
Yep, that's it. I think that could outscore his best game on Steam currently.
Easily. World of Goo 2, which it comes out August 2nd.
Soon.
I think
Sooner
that-
than I thought it was going to come out.
I'm feeling 77 to 83 vibes.
Can
going
you
hi-
look up what World League 1
Yeah, I
has
can do
real
that.
fast? I think that's higher. Yeah, I think it's 80 plus easily. 85 probably, if I had to guess. I mean, like, how do you fuck this up? You know what I mean? Like, it's World of Goo. Like, it's pretty simple in its premise, but
It-
you
it's
just do
simple.
more. You just do more World of Goo, and you're golden. Honestly,
It's simple in premise, but it's also like who wants this game right now? It's
people
at an
who love
85.
World of Goo, it's a classic.
Oh no, it's actually at a 88.
Yeah,
So yeah, it did really well on
Yeah.
OpenCritic.
85
85.
plus. Yeah,
Okay.
So I think that's a great
I'm going 83. Next up, The Wolf Among Us 2
and I
was
think that's
drafted.
coming out this year,
Probably not coming this
which
year.
is so disappointing. I want it so badly, so very badly.
Next up, you picked up a game called The Altars. Have you heard about this one?
I've heard of it, but I don't know anything about it.
I'm looking at the cover art on it. It looks cool as
Yeah.
fuck. And then finally, last pickup, Mario and Luigi Brothership. I don't know how much you bid on it, but good for you for getting that one.
85 guarantee at the lowest.
Yeah, I'm feeling 85 to 87.
I'm feeling 85 to 95.
Whoa.
It's possible.
That's
It's not
true. It's
outside the realm of
Mario. It's fucking
like,
Mario. It's
possibilities.
RPG.
Yeah.
It's great. I mean, Paper Mario getting an
I think that's a
89.
great
Actually, I'm going to take that back. 87 to 93 for my range.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think 85 is like a fair floor for it.
Um,
Shadow of the Ninja Reborn as their counter pick. I don't know anything about this game, but it has no release date, so I think it's a good counter
That's a
pick.
great counter pick. And then we got Alex the Golden, who is Horny Warden. Well, I'm just gonna leave it at that one for this one. And their first pick and their only game or not first pick, the only game that they have out currently is Banisher's Ghost of New Eden.
Yep, with an 80.
80.
Better than I thought.
Yeah, a lot of people kind of sleep on this game. I get asked about it every now and then on TikTok Live, and I'm like, not gonna ever play it probably, but I remember watching
heard good
Andy
things.
play it, and it looks amazing. Holy shit, that game looks really cool. But yeah, I'm probably not gonna get to that one this year.
I want to say Alex's team when he was drafting, I was like, I don't know a lot of these games that well. A lot of question marks here. As we've gone through the year and I've seen more and more about these games, I think his team is really solid.
Really good.
Because his first overall pick was a Warhammer 40K Space Marines 2, which apparently is fucking awesome. It looks amazing. I'm all in on this, on wanting to play it. I don't know if I'm going to have time to play it, but this could be the next Helldivers for sure.
For sure. My biggest question mark with this game is we said like we're not going to review it or anything like that. That it's in our red category for our reviews, even though it's on our calendar. Dude, that thing is just fizzling. I'm pouring Diet Coke for audio listeners. Basically, I do see a world where we pick this up for a bit. Because if our last review is Astros and we get a code for it and everything else we got codes for and we finish up, we could do it.
Yeah, I mean, I could see myself trying it, and we have Shane who loves 40K, so
yeah, we might try to
this is a
throw
long
him on
time
a
coming.
Zoom call and get him in to talk about 40K.
People have been excited for this for a while, so it's exciting that's finally come out. Do we have a release date on that? September 9th.
And then next up is Frostpunk 2, a game that a lot of people are stoked on.
Speaking of the altars, when Jacob, who's another TikToker who we spoke to at SGF, when he did a preview for the altars for his TikTok or whatever, and it's the same developer or the same publisher, I guess, for Frostpunk, and there's a lot of hype around Frostpunk too, so I think that looks very cool.
Stalker 2, Heart of Chernobyl. I'm stoked on this one. I just another awesome first-person shooter experience. I'm ready to get after it. September 5th has a date. Once again, do I expect this to blow the doors off of anyone? No, I don't.
Right.
Do I think that it's going to be a really solid score? Yeah, I think 81 sort of makes sense in my mind for this.
Another long time coming. Feels like we've been talking about Stalker 2 for ages.
Ever. And it's great that it has a date. It's out. It's exciting. Then we got Tactical Breach Wizard coming out August 20th. I have no idea
He
what
was
this game
talking
is.
about this in the Fantasy Critic Discord thread yesterday. Apparently, it's this very whimsical, weird game that he says he has a lot of hype for. So I'll take his word for it.
My favorite thing with this league is you can make personal picks. You can sort of call your shot. I'm doing it with Concord. I like the move here, Tactical Breach Wizards. Next up, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. If it hits this year, I think it's going to do very well.
It's supposed to, and they've just recently announced it,
Yeah.
right? And then they said 2024, so they must have some confidence. You wouldn't say...
It says, I don't know if they said 2024. It's just estimated release 2024.
Interesting. We're running out of time, dude. This year's going by so fast.
Next up, we have Gundam Breaker 4.
Coming out in August.
Yeah, the cool-ass mech game. Who would have suspected? Alex Golden, vibrant mod, community member, Gundam nerd in the best ways, goes and picks up the Gundam game, and honestly it looks pretty cool, and I think that that's a 77 Pretty guaranteed Money in the Bank points there. And then their counter pick was Silent Hill 2 remake, which I'm at the point that I'm like, pretty fucking great counter pick.
Right on. Next up, we have Big Baller Gaming with Shane,
Our boy.
our boy. First overall pick for him, Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth, 90. Great pick.
Dude, Shane stepped up to the plate here and has been a dog
With his first
this
three.
team.
With his first
I
three.
think the rest of his team is
Well,
pretty
no,
fucking
we'll talk about this in a second here because I think he might have shot himself in the foot with certain picks. But we'll next up we have Tekken 8, 90. Another dog.
I want to be able to talk about Tekken 8 real quick. This podcast, it's running a little short. We need to elongate it. Tekken 8's fucking awesome. Tekken 8 is so fucking good. It is unbelievable how good this game is. I go to sleep at night, Connor. It is 5 months removed, and I think about Tekken 8. I'm in bed, and I'm like, so probably gonna play some Ori tomorrow. Definitely gonna play a shit ton of Elden Ring. What if I just slide in like 5 rounds of Tekken real quick? But I know the slope that I would go down. It wouldn't be 5 rounds.
Yeah.
It would be like 50 rounds. I would play for 3 or 4 hours. I love this game. The coolest part when I reviewed it and then got the platinum, if I didn't have the platinum, would have been so stoked to be like, at least I got something to go back to and like get.
Now you understand my struggle.
But now the nice part is I want to go back and just play more multiplayer matches.
Right.
Like technically, it's the gift that keeps on giving. It doesn't stop. If I've said this a couple times, Jeff Keighley, hit us up. We would love to go and do this and be on this panel. If we were ever on the panel for Game Awards, I would 100%. If it had to be us 3 submitting one thing for the Co-op 64 name and everything, and we're like, all right, Rebirth, maybe we throw something else on there. I would say, without a shadow of a doubt, we are putting Tekken 8 on there. I will fight tooth and nail, and you guys could be like, no, maybe not. I'd be like, I will steal the fucking ballot and put Tekken 8 on there. I love Tekken 8 that much that this is. I pray to God that people, and I'm sad to see that Street Fighter 6 didn't get there last year, but last year was a stacked cast.
Right.
This year, Tekken 8 can get nominated, and God damn it, I hope it does. If every single year for the past 4 years now, I've done live reactions, or 3 years, live reactions to me seeing the Game of the Year nominees get revealed and everything. I will pop the fuck off for Tekken 8 if it gets revealed this year. Next up, we have Animal Well. Animal Well being the big mode game, Donkey's game, 89, 19 points. Are you kidding me? What a call. 3rd pick overall. He called a shot, and it delivered one of the best indies this year. Do you
Wild to do a 3rd pick on Animal Well.
Yep.
And have it hit.
I thought about counterpicking it.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, probably. I mean,
how good could it be?
Yeah, how good could it be? Apparently, one of the best indies in a long time.
Yep.
And then after that, his counter pick was Helldivers 2. I think that he expected it just to be 10 points. Which it only lost him 13 points.
That's not what you want, though.
I know it's not what you want, but I think that it is safe to a degree. Would Helldivers 2?
I thought fucking Destiny 2 was safe to a degree, but no. I mean, I think that's a fine pick, but it does hurt.
Next up, he has Rift of the Necro Dancer.
I don't think this is coming out this year.
Think it's coming out this year.
From it in a while.
Next up is Path of Exile 2.
I think it could be a 90 plus
if it
based
comes
on
out
what we
this year.
played. Yeah. Well, it's coming out this year.
It says release date TBA.
There's
a plan for early access, it says. So
okay.
But that's the interesting part.
It was fall.
If it's early access, does it deliver a score?
No.
Exactly.
Does
Hades
release.
2 have a score?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think so. Metro Prime 4 officially not coming out
so
this year.
So he can't drop that, right?
Yes, he can. He has one. You have one unconditional drop.
He might have dropped something already, though.
Yeah. Then you have Assassin's Creed Shadows, November 15th. Let's talk about this one.
85 plus, I think.
Yeah.
Is a rock solid. Like, what did the hell have?
I'm taking Odyssey.
Odyssey is high.
Yeah.
Odyssey, like, people really liked it at launch. I know that.
I'm stoked for this one. I think that this is going to be. It could. I don't.
What was the last Assassin's Creed you played?
The last one I played. Holy shit! Well, it was Valhalla. And then I returned it.
Oh really?
Yeah. When I went and bought the PS5, I bought Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I bought Call of Duty, and I bought Miles Morales. And then I played Valhalla, and for like, I think an hour.
I didn't even know that.
And then I returned it to Best Buy immediately.
Yeah.
I just wanted like some games and everything, and then Assassin's Creed Odyssey has an 84.
Oh, interesting.
Let me
What does
check
Valhalla have?
Valhalla.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I think this is an 85 probably. But I feel like Odyssey lives and dies by the protagonist. People really love Cassandra.
Yeah, I know.
Cassandra?
Cassandra.
Yeah, but I I can't imagine them meeting that expectation for this.
I know this sounds wild. Valhalla's at an 83, so I feel like we're saying in a certain area that's going to be better
So
than
do you
an
think it's
80.
better than those? It's
I'm
gonna be
I'm
better?
I'm going to come out and say something that's pretty bold, and someone can clip me on this. There is no way Assassin's Creed Shadows is bad.
Yeah.
This is going to be awesome. I'm
okay,
saying
not gonna be bad and awesome are two very
I'm
different
saying
things.
84 and up guaranteed. Guaranteed. Money in the bank.
Okay. Here's my big issue with that is because I was saying 85 when we started this conversation, and now that you've told me the scores for the other two, I'm like, people love Odyssey. At least I thought. Critics loved it.
I think that critics
and if
do
that has an
love it, but
84, like
I also do think that we are in a spot when we talk about critics, we listen to 5 to 10 critics like pretty often, Twitters that we follow and stuff like that. So obviously everyone knows I'm wearing a kind of funny hat right now. We're big kind of funny fans on the channel and everything. Greg Miller loved Odyssey, like champions Assassin's Creed Odyssey is one of the best world games in a long time.
think
But
that
also
IGN gave it
Assassin's Creed Odyssey did get nominated for Game of the Year that came out.
right.
So like that is a certain level of critique that makes sense that you would expect it to be higher, but here we are. All right, next up we have Super Monkey Ball Banana Rumble coming out soon, right? June 25th. So in a couple days we'll get a score on that.
I feel really so like
What's up?
tomorrow then
Yeah. In a couple days.
review
Tuesday.
scores. Yeah, for review
Oh,
scores.
review scores tomorrow.
Yeah. I think that this game is mid 70s.
75, 77
Yeah.
feels right. And then Factorio Space Age late 2024 estimated.
No idea.
And then Helldivers 2 is a counter pick.
Odyssey has a 9.2 on IGN. See, like I thought people fucking loved that game.
9.2 is 9.2 you said?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. That's an amazing score.
Yeah.
All right. Now we're going to one of my favorite community members. I can say this, one of my favorite, and I didn't say favorite, but one of my favorite community members, because I named my fucking Mimic tier after him in Elden Ring, Straw Hat Gumpy
The
in
Gumby.
the league. Kicked it off with this was their second pick, FF16 expansion, The Rising Tide
78.
78. I remember it didn't review Gangbusters.
That's the second one.
Yeah, right? Yeah, it is.
What's the first one called?
Oh, dude, come on. Why are you asking me these questions right now? I have no idea.
Dude, I want to play these so badly. I just can't bring myself to get to the point where I can play them in the main game. It's so frustrating.
So this is the second one because the first one's Echoes of the Fallen.
Yes, thank you. Appreciate that. I think somebody drafted
We for these podcasts, I need my laptop out. This has been very helpful today. But yeah, 78 did not gangbusters.
Solid though.
Yeah,
That's
but
fine.
solid. But second pick, you want a little bit more. For me,
Yeah.
my second pick was Ronin, and I wanted more than 77. So 78, not too great. Sucker for Love, Date to Die For came out in April. Got 6 points. Just a solid pick. One of the most shocking reviews I think all year is Another Crab's Treasure is only at a 78 on Metacritic.
Yeah, I feel like people fucking love this
I
game.
haven't heard anyone say anything bad about this game. Period.
Yeah,
I don't know
but
anyone that's given it a 7.
I feel like it probably got a ton of 8s and then like a few lower scores. And
Well,
that
that's what it
drags
had to
down.
do, but
Yeah.
like I feel like more people gave it 8.5s than 7.5s.
What does IGN have it at?
Let me
Out of
give
curiosity.
Yeah.
I'll move on to the
yeah.
next one. 9 Souls. I've heard about this game. It's a little indie. Heard great things. I think it features a fox.
Cool.
Yep. Some sort of fox animal.
How many points did that get?
That got 86. So 16 points. That's really
they give
solid.
it an 8 out of 10. IGN did.
See, I feel like everyone gave it an 8 out of 10.
But how do you get to a 78 is my biggest thing.
You get a
Because
few
more
sevens.
7s and 7.5s than 8s or 8.5s and 9s. I felt like people
I feel
gave
like nobody gave it an 8.5 is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I think 8 is like the solid score, and then a couple 7s would drag it down. I still need to finish this game. I think I'm about halfway through it.
What, 9 Souls?
No, Another Crab's Treasure.
It's
So
pretty short. I want to get to it this year. That'll be part of my cleanup, I think.
next, wait, it's July. Oh no, early access is this week, I believe, for Final Fantasy 14 Dawn Trail, because that's accurate.
Yeah, it's right now.
1
it's
week after.
1 week after Erdtree because of that infamous line. Awesome, badass. We know you guys are gonna be fucking knee deep in Erdtree, so we're gonna give you guys a week to play that for.
Yoshi P is so funny on being like, we wanted to release it a week earlier, but we'll give you a week. So yeah, Dawn Trail. I think this is 90s. I think this is. It's just a matter of, can they keep up the trajectory that they were on? People fucking love Final Fantasy 14. They just got to keep that ship riding. They just finished out like a main arc, so they're starting a new one. So that might leave some room for error, but they haven't really missed in a while. So
they got a couple great games to close out their team. Dragon Ball Z Sparking Zero. Where do you feel with Metacritic on this one? Because I think that we're super in on it, but Metacritic's such an
5 I could see, and it's one of those situations where like it doesn't even need to be that good critically to be beloved. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Like I would be curious to know like what, I don't want you to look this up, but like what other Budokai Tenkaichi games, like I feel like they probably don't review crazy well, but people fucking love those games. Look up 3.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
And then they have the World of Warcraft: The War Within DLC. I think that's a guarantee 80 something.
On Metacritic, Budokai Tenkaichi 3 has an 72.
See?
Yeah.
And people fucking love that game.
Yeah.
So like I don't know if it's gonna review well,
I
but
can see 81.
yeah, I think we're gonna love this game.
Yeah, I think we're gonna play the fuck out of it. It's gonna be fun.
So Zenless Zone Zero. I've heard great things about this game, just generally speaking.
Oh yeah.
You skipped 2.
Sorry. Oh, I totally skipped over things. I for some reason I thought we were done with the things that already came out.
Oh, this is July 4th, so coming out soon. Is this a gacha game?
Oh no. If it's not, then
Very
it got you confused.
Yeah, so I love the name. Zenless Zone Zero is such a good name. So he's got that
today.
coming up in July 4th, Independence Day. And then Kinitsu Gami Path of the Goddess. It's Capcom. I feel like this is on the level of Exoprimal, potentially. You know what I mean? Like it's a B team Capcom game.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
so I got to go hands on with this one at SVF, and I had a good time with it. Like it was a fun demo. It didn't like make me want more. Like I think even in the review I wrote curious but not clamoring for more was that final line.
Where do you think it lands?
I'm feeling 73 to 78. Like, I don't know if it breaks that 80 mark. I think that people need to remember, if a game breaks an 80, it is a great video game.
Yeah.
Like, it is a consensus great game. And that is difficult to do. A lot of video games, like, there's got to be some games that are just good. And I think that this is a good game from what I played. But I'm curious to see if this comes out and then gets, like, a bunch of 90s, and then I'm just fucking wrong.
They counterpicked Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. If it comes out this year, I think this is going to hurt.
I think that.
But how bad will it hurt?
I was about to say, I think
Helldivers hurt. 83.
Exactly. 83, 84. And I think it's worth the risk. Because what would you say at where it stands right now? What % chance it comes out this year?
85%.
I would say 80%. So let's do some quick math on it. Not like 14%, 80% of that is like a 10-point risk.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah. Which isn't bad.
Closing this out, the final team, Alec McLongdong, first overall pick. Oh, wait, let's just go down to what's already come out. Pacific Drive, which has an 80. I feel like this game came and went, but 8 out of 10 is rock solid. I played like 3 hours of it. Did not like it very much. Not my kind of game. There is merit to it, though. If you are interested in this, it had more crafting than I thought it was going to have. It was very much pick up individual items and upgrade your car. I thought it was like go do the thing, and that will upgrade your car, but it was more like go into like these little areas and like hammer away at stuff or like drill into stuff and you get the item and then get to like go back to your base. I didn't like the loop very much.
Yeah, that's a survival game thing with you that I feel like that loop you don't love. Here's my biggest thing, and where we get into issues with Open Critic and having these broad discussions of game reviews, which I understand a lot of it sounds like contradictory. I don't know a single person that's like fucking Pacific Drive is better than another Crab's Treasure.
Yeah, that's
don't
true.
know a single fucking person that would say that.
That's a good point.
And it's an 80 versus 78, and that's where I want to find someone that's played both because I don't think there's a lot of crossover.
A little bit.
And,
but also it's an issue with me like not liking that kind of
exactly.
game, so.
But I want to see someone that enjoys things that deal with crafting and stuff like that. along with someone that enjoys Souls and see where they land.
It's another issue with, I bet you a bunch of people didn't play Pacific Drive. When you have less people playing your game, you have a higher chance of getting a
Getting a high
higher score.
Because you can just get weighted with
Yeah.
8s, 9s, and 10. Like, honestly, if there's only 20 people that reviewed it, I could see the reason it got an 80 was none of those 20 reviewers used its 0.5s or anything like that.
Right.
And so you got 7s, 8s, and 9s, and then it literally aggregate.
But then
to,
you have, there was
80.
buzz around Not the Crab's Treasure. People were
Yeah,
stoked on it.
I mean, it did really well on Twitch. Like, was
Yeah.
a big thing too. So, yeah.
And then just there was that one song from Another Crab's Treasure that people were just bumping to, and I still see TikToks of people reacting to that, hearing that song for the first time. Do you know what I'm talking about? I can't. I could like sing it to you, but I'm not gonna do that. Then he has South Park Snow Day, which bummer, -10 points. I could have called this one.
Yeah, we were driving down before the reviews came down to our weekend away and everything that we had earlier this year, and I was like, probably not going to be great. And then the reviews came out and they weren't great, and we're like, yeah, it'll probably make sense. Which kind of, like you said, it's a bummer, not just for Alec, but like these games at one point were fucking awesome, and now it just feels like they're just producing them just to throw the South Park name on something and not do something that's too innovative or creative.
Right. Alone in the Dark was his final game that has come out now. -6 points. The return of Alone in the Dark with David Harbour in it and somebody else. Some major celebrity names, but the painting or the writing was on the wall for this. So
Yep.
yeah. Then he first overall picked Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater.
You and I disagree whether this comes out this year.
Coming out, yeah.
I don't, and it's sad. I watched Did you watch the David Hayter stuff that was on IGN? Like he did like
No.
legacy stuff, and it sounds awesome. It sounds sick. When he was talking about it, for some reason, I was like, I don't think it's this year. My other question is, when could they actually release this? It seems like they are at this point very clearly marketing with Xbox. The last 2 times we've seen it were with Xbox.
Yeah, but then they also had that trailer with
PlayStation,
PlayStation
the
at the
first
beginning of
one,
the year when
yeah.
they said, well,
Oh, that's
they
true,
also
and
had
the-
like a
yeah.
games coming in 2024, and
Yeah.
Silent Hill 2 and Metal Gear Solid Delta were on that
And I remember saying,
list.
odds are, and on this podcast, I believe we were talking about this time around, I was like, one of those two will come out. And I think now it's just Silent Hill 2.
Did you? I think you said the opposite.
Did you think I said both?
No, I think you said that Metal Gear Solid was going to come out.
Oh,
and
that
Silent Hill
checks.
2 was
Yeah,
gonna get
because
pushed.
but
Silent Hill 2 looks way worse.
way worse. Yeah. But I do believe at this point, sadly, that it won't come out. Honestly, 2025 is going to be such a banger. Maybe get it in this year, please. Even though the
Yeah.
end of this year is wild. What I've learned this year more than ever is even on a down year, we currently have we are in a really great time right now. We're
Right.
finally we're able to cut into some backlog. Obviously, Erdtree, if you're not playing it, it's backlog season. As someone that is playing Erdtree, I still feel like I have some time to dive into the backlog. It's not a 100-hour
Yep.
experience or anything like that. But before that, it's just been bangers and continuously picking up new stuff. And then the rest of this year is going to be bangers and continuously picking up stuff. Yeah, so as a consumer, it's going to be really difficult to go and see what we get and everything and how good everything is, but I'm stoked for it.
I think Konami could just do October for Silent Hill and then November for Metal Gear. That's fine.
Yeah, my question is, when does Xbox go again and when does Sony go again?
I don't
for
think
announcements?
Metal Gear needs another trailer.
I think I'm completely switching up what I said. I think that we get a trailer at Showcase in September for PlayStation.
Interesting.
And we get launch date for November. Yep, that's where I'm at. Take it to the bank.
Then they have Hollow Knight Silk Song, MIA, not coming out this year, not a chance. How do you feel?
I don't think it's coming out this year. Obviously, that's a fool's bet at this point. But
At the start of the year, it felt like a guarantee.
we want at the start of this year, it felt like a guarantee. Going into SGF season, knowing that we were going to have a Nintendo Direct, knowing that we were going to have Xbox Showcase, honestly, PlayStation could have tried to get a little bit of that marketing deal with their state of play. Fucking Keeley. Every single thing, I was just like, it's got to be here, right?
Mm-hmm.
And as the weekends went along, and then we get to the Nintendo Direct, and that comes and goes, I am nervous. I'm officially nervous with this game. I know that they're still working on it. I know it's gonna be great when it comes out, but like, at what point do you just shrug your shoulders and say, I'm not confident. I don't know why at this point. You can't. How can you be confident when they just won't say or show anything other than like I believe the last time their Twitter tweeted something out was like March or something. We're still working on it, dude.
Just say something.
Just say something. Honestly,
it's embarrassing. At this
what
point.
they need to do is I want their Twitter to just come out and be like, "Hey, it's not this year."
Yep.
That works for me. That's great. Awesome. Stop with this faux hype that you are garnering for no reason.
Exactly what it is.
I feel like you were, and I used to disagree a lot with Connor on this. I don't mind the conversation around it. This is a game that we were being teased, and it's very exciting. But at what point do you, like, no joke, like, it feels like a tease, and you're just not delivering the goods, and then you get to tease us more and more and more and more. At a certain point, as a fan and as someone that gets excited about cool ass video games, you just go and say, "I'm not going to do it. I'm just not.
They're manipulating the conversation."
Yeah,
like people are already excited about Hollow Knight,
totally.
But you've made it this mythical, otherworldly like every conversation on every showcase is Hollow Knight going to be there? Is it going to be there? I can't wait to see Hollow Knight Silksong. It's like, dude, can we just say something just so we can stop fucking talking about this game for every showcase?
But
you're getting free press, which I mean, it's smart on their part.
Here's the thing: it's smart on their part, but what they're doing is they're creating, in my opinion, a level of disappointment consistently, which I think is bad for the game. What I want them to do is, hey, we don't want to disappoint. Because I do believe that they disappointed by not being here this summer when a lot of people had that expectations. And it's okay to be disappointed. It's all right. Like, that's part of why we like talking about these things, or is talking about the ethereal games that could show up. And like, I still think there's a world that we see this at Game Awards this year. But at what point from the Team Cherry perspective do you say, hey, we don't want to disappoint the fans? Like, we don't want to create a level of annoyingness, because I'm annoyed at this point a little bit, and I understand from a fan perspective of wanting to get excited about cool games, and when it's not there, it sucks. But like, at what point do you just go and say, I'm when it shows up, I'm gonna be excited? I'm done predicting it. Like, when we do yes or no's for certain showcases, it will be on the list still, but I'm not gonna ever make a lengthy long shot about Hollow Knight at this point.
I'm sick of talking.
I'm just done. I'm done with it. And
somebody drafted this in our fantasy league in 2022.
Yeah.
Like, that's how long we've been fucking talking about this game. And we've seen it once since then. And they said it was coming out last year because it was in the Xbox.
Was 2022 to 2023 summer. Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck are we doing here? How are we halfway through this year and we have no new information on this?
And it's okay to not have new information. If there's no news, you need to just say, hey,
there's no news.
They're like, we're still working on it, which is fine. I want you to come out and say, hey, what they should have done is before Summer Showcase season, say, hey, we will not be at Summer Showcase season. You won't see a trailer during this. And just get it off everyone's bingo card. Because I think that setting expectations is really important, especially from a game level, let alone a showcase level, where you are going in being like, it could be there. And once again, the reason that they don't do it is because they want Xbox and PlayStation and Nintendo to get the eyes on there, because potentially it could be there. But at what point do we just say, stop it, and just give us some more? Like, Team Cherry, they're amazing. Just let us know. Just communicate. I feel like I'm in an abusive relationship with you at this point. And like, just the way the fans talk about this game, I'm all for cool games. I'm all excited. I love hype and getting excited for games. I am getting less excited for this game as we are continuing to wait, which is fine. But the way you get me more excited for it is, hey, we're taking our time. It's not this year. It's not this year. And then I just go, cool. Because when it comes out, it's going to be fucking awesome. But right now, there's that like false hope, and it's not coming out. And when it does come out now, I'm just gonna be like, you could have. Let's just say, if it is this year, do you think that they could have told us, hey, 2024 date, let's get a little trailer going?
Not want to say it's 2024 and then push it. That might be the reason.
I know, but they already did that by saying it's 2022 to 2023 and pushing it.
They didn't technically say that. Xbox said that,
but they got told. They told Xbox this should be out. They wouldn't let them go and throw that out there. Now we're in a spot where you have to be concerned to some level about this game, and I personally am concerned about this game.
I'm not concerned.
I'm not. Okay. It's gonna be awesome when it comes out. I'm just annoyed. I'm just fucking annoyed.
Right.
And that's the only word to really describe it. All right. Next up, we have the next mainline Mario Kart game. Once again, we're talking about when we're drafting these games, We all thought the Switch 2 was going to happen. If you were to predict the Switch launch lineup, it either comes out with a 3D Mario or it 100% comes out with Mario Kart 9 or 10, whatever your opinion on Tour is. Yeah, it's not a bad bet, but here we are. And then Avowed. Is Avowed coming out this year?
Yes. I
What
looked
does it
up
get?
the score for the Outer Worlds. 83 seems like a fair bet. That's what that has, and I would assume that this is around there as well. And that's solid. That's great.
I'm going to go with an 80. I think I'm a little bit lower
Okay.
on it. I don't think
It's
it's
going
going
to
to
be
hit that.
worse. You think it's going to review worse than Hellblade 2?
Yeah. Hellblade 2 does something no other game does.
Look pretty.
Yep. And sound. Perfect. Best sound immersion in any game ever and looks better than any game ever.
I don't want to start this with you right now at all. Alrighty. So that is the rundown for everybody's team. Let's go over current projections
Yeah.
real fast.
To do that, I need to use the restroom. This podcast has not been short.
Yeah. Alrighty. Projected for first. There's still games to be picked up, so this could totally change drastically. But as of today, projected for first place. No, I'm going to do 10th to 1, I think, actually. Projected for 10th place, we have Alec McLongdong. Projected for 9th place, we have Smalls 9797. Projected for 8th place, we have Brady Goodall. Projected for 7th, we have Alex the Golden. 6th, Nick. 5th, where's 5th? Straw Hat Gumby. 4th, Big Mac. 3rd, Shane. 2nd, myself. And 1st, Batted Degree. BD Studios projected to take it home. Batted Degree has such a solid lead over everybody. He's projected for 95.43 points. Next up is me with 79.23. Dude is running away with it.
Can I break this down for you real quick, Connor? Let me break it down for you. Here's how I'm going to win this league. Refantasio comes out, gets a 95. Has to. That's the start. I have to get 30 points from there. That would put me at 44 points. Visions of Mana's got to come out, review exceedingly well. Let's just go and call it 15 points. Gets an 85. That gets me to 59 points. Alan Wake 2 The Lighthouse comes out, gets me 12 points. That puts me to 71. Replay's not coming out this year. This is where it gets interesting. Astrobot has to come out and get a 93. That gets me to 97 points. Concord gets me 7 points. Life is Strange Double Exposure gets me 7 more points. That's 115 points, baby. And we win the fucking league.
You think that Life is Strange is going to get 7 points?
I think it's going to get like 12.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
But I what I am saying is the door is still open. Did I say anything on there that sounds impossible?
No.
Exactly.
But the issue, dude, it's crazy. Batted Degree has 2 more slots to fill. And he's projected for that.
It's a hard league to be in.
Dude, Black Myth Wukong gets a 90, plus we're fucked.
Yeah, I want to ask you. Let's go down the lineup real quick. Is there any game that you are like, how many games 90 plus guarantee? I'm just going to run through the ones. No, just in general that could do it. Real quick. It will only take a couple seconds. Dragon Age the Veilguard is again above a 90.
No.
Legends of Zelda Echo of Wisdom is again above a 90.
Yes.
Black Myth Wukong is again above a 90.
No.
Star Wars Outlaws above a 90.
No.
Is none of those could do it. I'll just say it. Indiana Jones is again above a 90.
No.
Refantasio above a 90.
Yes.
Astrobot above a 90.
Yes.
Neva if it comes out this year.
Yes.
I think it could too. Mario and Luigi Brothership.
No. Close though.
Yeah, I think it's close too, but not there. Space Marine 2.
Yes.
Sneaky yes. And then Assassin's Creed Shadows.
No.
Dawn Trail.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's pretty money in the bank. Dragon Ball Z Sparking Zero.
No.
And if it comes out, Hollow Knight Silksong.
Yes. Yeah.
All right. So we have. I just listed what 10 games.
Snake Eater. As well.
Snake Eater. If it comes out, do you think it gets a 90?
Yeah.
I don't. I think if it comes out this year, I think that the remake is actually no. If it comes out and it's fucking awesome, it's gonna get above a 90. Yeah, I could do it.
Am I drafting first here?
I want to draft first.
Right.
I don't even know who drafted first. Is the issue.
All right, you can go first. Well, we had 3 people last time.
Oh yeah.
Off the table, and we are good to go. How long are we going for? Almost
like an
2
hour
hours.
50.
Dude, people are feasting lately with the content.
I mean, we're just delivering. I'm riffing for 2. Oh, did you see my list? Connor just peeked at my
I
list,
didn't
chat.
see your list. I was looking at my own
Connor
list.
peeked at my list.
Goofball.
Goofy. All right, ready?
Yep.
Welcome back to another draft. Today, we're drafting Kingdom Hearts World. I thought of it, and Connor's really happy about it. You ready for this one?
I'm stoked. Let's do it.
I get the first pick today, and I'm picking the coolest world possible. I'm picking Hollow Bastion from Kingdom Hearts 1.
Damn it.
Duh, like the music, the vibe, the epicness and scale, it's terrific. Like I said, the biggest thing is the music is unbelievable for that world. Give me Hollow Bastion with my 101.
How did that end up in a Disney Final Fantasy crossover game? Like, it's so badass and cool and like gothic. It's amazing. I love Hollow Bastion. And like you said, the music is so good. Frightening.
Yep.
With my first overall pick, we're going to go with the world that never was. When I saw this when I was a kid, I was like, that is the most badass thing I've ever seen in my entire life. And the boss rush, so fun at the end of this game. Amazing. The world that never was with my first pick.
I have that as my number 4. I wanted it on the turn. I legitimately thought about picking it over Hollow Bastion. What's fucking Hollow Bastion? I could not.
With my second pick, I'm going to go with Traverse Town from Kingdom Hearts 1. The music, the aesthetic, it feels so cozy, and getting to return there throughout Kingdom Hearts 1 and have it be your home base with your Final Fantasy characters, Leon, Aerith, Yuffie, the crew, love them. Traverse Town with my second pick.
That's my number 2 on the board.
Wow.
So, yeah, I think that we're going to prove real fast that the coolest worlds in this are not the Kingdom Hearts world.
Yeah, or the
Disney worlds. Yeah. My next pick for pick number 2 is going to be Twilight Town from Kingdom Hearts 2. The opening to this game is some of the most amazing substance I've ever had in a game. It's the game I've like started this game so many times, so I'm very well versed in Twilight Town. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's interesting. I don't have this on my list
Really?
at all. Yeah, I didn't want to end up drafting it because of having all of the Kingdom Hearts exclusive worlds or whatever on there, the non-Disney worlds. And I think it is by far the weakest because when you go back to it, you're not really doing it. There's very specific little fights and you're barely there for most of it. And then as good as I think the opening of Kingdom Hearts 2 is from a story perspective, from a gameplay perspective, and like an atmosphere perspective, I'm like, it's fine.
For me, it is the opening of Kingdom Hearts 2 is so freaking strong.
People
People
hate it.
I know that's people dislike it. I think in retrospect, it is simply magic. Like it really is cool.
People also say it's 3 hours long. Look at me in the eyes, everybody. It is not 3 hours long.
It's like an hour and a half.
It's like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Like it's not that long.
When we're streaming it in a couple weeks, I will beat that in less than one stream. Like that area for sure.
100%.
Now it gets interesting for your boy. Okay. Can I live with that? I can't live with that. I got to pick it. I've said it many times that my favorite trilogy of all time might be Pirates of the Caribbean. Like, I adore that trilogy. So I'm going to pick Port Royal from KH2 as my first Disney World off the board. I just love this world. I enjoy the aesthetic. I just love Pirates of the Caribbean so freaking much. So KH2, Port Royal.
Sorry, I was doing some research. I wanted to make sure I got the name right.
There you go. Is that a good pick?
I think it's great.
Was it on your board?
So the way that we're doing this is if you pick a franchise from one game, you can't pick it from another. I had Kingdom Hearts 3, the Caribbean.
Yep.
Assassin's Creed and Kingdom Hearts, Assassin's Creed Black Flag.
Yeah.
I mean, like, come on. It's so good. There's a whole ship game in there. Like, it's so good. That's the best world in Kingdom Hearts 3 by far.
I have it on my board, but I best know the Kingdom Hearts 2 world better. So,
except for with my third pick, we're going to go with Toy Box from Kingdom Hearts 3. If you told child Connor that his favorite Disney franchise, Toy Story, would mix with his favorite video game, Kingdom Hearts, his head would have exploded. And the fact that in 2019 I got to run around as Sora in the Toy Story world was so amazing. The music is so good. The way that they expanded the world and you get to go into that Toy Story is amazing. The boss fights are super fun. I love Buzz and Woody. Fucking amazing. Toy Story, Toy Box was my third pick.
by the way, it's on my board. I know that it's spectacular. I remember watching people stream this and just being like, this is cool as shit. Like, it's really
It's
cool.
so cool.
It's really cool.
With my fourth pick, we're going to go with the Olympus Coliseum from Kingdom Hearts 1. And the reason we're doing that is because I think that the Cerberus boss fight in Kingdom Hearts 1 is amazing. The tournaments in Kingdom Hearts 1 are so good, and it also features one of the secret bosses. I just remembered this. You fight the secret boss, and you know who I'm talking about. Oh, hey, oh, hey, oh,
Yep.
hey, oh, Sephiroth in Olympus Coliseum, and then also Cloud's fucking there, and he looks so badass. And then I just fucking love the vibe, the fanfare music going on in Olympus Coliseum. So good. We're junior heroes, dude.
So I have Olympus Coliseum as my number 5. So I went and messed up my board to go and pick Port Royal, because I literally, when I think of Disney and Kingdom Hearts, for me, like, I just cannot get over my love of Pirates of the Caribbean, thinking that that was the coolest thing ever to see in KH2. But as the resident Final Fantasy VII lover, when the second I saw Cloud, I'm like, what the fuck, dude? This is awesome. Like,
He has his Buster Sword is wrapped in cloth, and he has like claws and like a little wing on him. It's so cool.
And then when I saw that Sephiroth is this, I'm like, oh, like, it's awesome. It's great. So I messed up my own board to go and pick Port Royal, but like, I love the pick. It's not bad. So I have 2 picks here, right?
Yep.
Oh man.
This is my favorite draft you've ever done.
Yeah, I know.
I'm loving
Connor's
this.
just having a good time. I'm happy for you, buddy.
I know what I'm going to pick for my last one. I'm really hoping you don't pick it right now. I think I'm okay, though.
My next one, I'm going KH2, Land of Dragons, the Mulan world.
That was up on my board, too.
So freaking cool. There's moments in the combat sequence from this world that are just awesome when you're surrounded and everything. That sequence is just pretty sick, nasty. Obviously, just every single story bit in there is spectacular. I really enjoy this world. I'm gonna take a break for a moment just to tell the podcast listeners, I know so much about Kingdom Hearts 2 for not playing Kingdom Hearts 2.
Yeah.
I know it's weird. I was sitting next to Connor being like, I know what happens in this world. I know what happens in this world. I know what happens in this world. I've seen all of this world. I just have never been on the sticks for some of this because I just watched Connor play it a lot. And so, yeah, some really cool shit there. But that is my 4th pick. And then I'm going to close it out with just a personal pick and what I think is really, really cool. I'm going to close it out with Destiny Island from Kingdom Hearts 1.
Oh, that's a good choice.
I think that simply it brings what the theming of this game is really well, which is childlike wonder, discovery, adventure. Like, there's so much hope when you're on Destiny Island and you feel like, we're going to do this together. And then when the darkness comes, it is like devastating. Mm-hmm. You go from paradise to absolute peril, and I love it. Destiny Island was my last pick.
Paradise to peril. That's a good line right there.
Yeah, dude, every now and then I get my bag on this. We're 2 hours in this podcast, and I'm still just dying coked up, baby. Let's go.
I feel like I really do wish we picked more Disney worlds. We might need to do this again and just do Disney worlds.
I know,
point.
But like, let's be honest. Their Kingdom Hearts worlds are so freaking cool, dude.
They're so cool. Nomura in his bag. With my final pick, we're going to go with the Keyblade Graveyard from Birth by Sleep. Going up to the lead up for each of these characters, for Terra, Ven, and Aqua, fine. When you land in the world and you're running through all those tornado alleys, how I like to call it, and fighting some unversed, fine. But the final battles in this world are so good, so epic, so emotional. Nobody ever dies in Kingdom Hearts. They're just irreversibly damaged in
they're
the
not
head.
coming back.
Yeah, they are just traumatized. And the Keyblade Graveyard, it's a land of trauma, dude. They just get bullied here, and it's just not very fun to see, but really epic and amazing to experience and play. So Keyblade Graveyard with my final pick.
That's a good last pick. Can I before we close out this podcast, I want to bring this up.
Well, yeah, I have some honorable mentions.
Oh,
too.
yeah. You can rip that. Oh, I also do, too. I had Neverland as one of mine. I love the
Neverland
adventure.
sucks. Wait, in
KH1.
Oh, no, yeah. Neverland sucks,
Oh, dude. I
mean?
love that world. And then the Caribbean for KH3 was another one that I had on there. Olympus for KH2 I also had on there just because, awesome. But
get on the Hydra's back,
dude. The fights I feel like in KH2 just across the board are better.
The combat.
Well, yeah, the combat's way better. The Lion King world,
really good.
Yeah, really good in KH2.
Shockingly good for becoming a four-legged creature. Like how do
Yeah.
they transfer that to that?
And it
I mean,
works.
yeah. You have like Atlantica, which sucks with like the swimming, and then somehow they made like the four-legged creature
Lion.
like gameplay really great.
And also just the Keyblade is sick nasty from that world.
Keyblade's really cool. For my honorable mentions, I had the Caribbean as well. I had End of the World, the last world in Kingdom Hearts 1, where you like, so like it's like where all, you remember this? Where you go fight Ansem at the end. So you have End of the World. And then I had Deep Jungle, the Tarzan world.
That's cool. Good,
So
good intro.
They
Clayton.
can't use Tarzan. There's some sort of thing with Tarzan where they like can't.
It's just like law stuff. Like legal stuff.
I don't. It's weird. Like I don't know why that's like off limits. Like we've never returned there. I would love to at this point. Kingdom Hearts 4, Deep Jungle, make it happen. I have Deep Space, the Lilo and Stitch world from Birth by Sleep, which kind of sucks because you don't know this. So in Birth by Sleep, when you go to the Lilo and Stitch world, you're on like the spaceship, like not Hawaii. Why would it not be Hawaii, dude?
I don't know.
Like what?
I'm sorry. I'm thinking about the story. I'm gonna tell you after this. So yeah.
And then I have the Grid from Dream Drop Distance, Tron Legacy. Oh my god, I love me some Tron Legacy.
Sick. Tron's so sick.
Yeah.
Are you stoked for Tron 3 when it comes out?
No, it has Jared Leto in it.
Yeah.
I hate that guy.
So
the
reason I was laughing was when you were talking about Kingdom Hearts characters not coming back. I was on the way up to Notre Dame last weekend listening to the Civil War podcast that Kind of Funny did for their in review. And there's that scene in Civil War where Captain America and Bucky like get together and it's the hallway fight, but like downward spiral staircase fight where they have to like break out as shield members and governments coming after him. And he goes and he's like, no killing people. And then they just proceed to, they might not have killed, but no one's eaten the same after that one. And they're talking about this on the podcast. And they're like, dude, they go and hit someone so hard that the wall breaks completely behind him. That person's not walking again. Like, they're not the same. So you might not have killed them, but they might have wished that they got killed. And I'm listening to this podcast, and I'm driving. I have Taco Bell next to me, and I am fucking crying, laughing, thinking about the fact that Captain America, he might have said no killing, but if I was one of those guys, just take me out. Just take me out. Oh, my God.
Wait, what context?
This was, I was listening to the in review.
No, how did that come up?
Wait, because you were like talking about the fact that like people in Kingdom Hearts don't die.
Yeah,
they just like are like they're just done for it. And all I'm thinking about is Cap pushing a shield through someone and they just broke their spine. They're not okay. Holy shit. Oh man, sorry for the tangent at the end. This podcast was too short. We had to make it longer. Oh my God. 2 hours.
2 minutes?
Oh man. I mean, we probably cut out the first couple minutes of, well, you know how it goes with the cutting process of this.
All right.
Oh my God!
Ready
What a
to close
dude!
it out?
I had a great time today.
Yeah.
This was a great time. Oh my gosh!
It always is. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of the Casual Gaming Conversation. We'll see you next week on Monday. Peace out.